And yes, are we ready? Right now on 710, we're taking off with 9 hours of live and local LA Sports Talk.
The home of the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
We call it the LAX, LA Sports Mega Block. Of course, powered every day by LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, where change arrives daily. Let's get to it. Time to get in the air. We're taking off, LA.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Travis and Sliwa has clearance right now.
Yeah, we do, Slee. Even though you took a step down the rankings on it for me today. You know, like,
what if I didn't have control over it? I didn't have control.
I know you didn't, but it's still you
I
let me
set
down.
An expectation,
you did.
And
That's
then
what you did.
I never adjusted that expectation.
That's why you never ever try to get somebody excited about something. If you can surprise someone, that's good. Here's what happened.
I overpromised. I underdelivered.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, I just promised. And
never
I just
set expectations.
Didn't deliver.
Never. Yesterday, during our rabbit hole segment, which we do in the 12 o'clock hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we talk about the things that we've been seeing on the internet and been preoccupied with. You told a story about an Italian market / deli in Pasadena that's been making this incredible sandwich for nearly 100 years.
Long time.
Right?
What's the name of it again?
Roma is the market, Roma Market in Pasadena on Lake just over the freeway.
And then you said to me, as we were leaving yesterday, you know what I'm going to do, Trav?
I'm going to pick up a couple of those.
I'm going to swing by there tomorrow on my way in and grab a few of those sandwiches. We'll have one in the morning. Hand to a higher power, whichever one you subscribe to, right? Mine is George Brett, which we'll talk about later, right? Fernando, Suits, whatever it is. I woke up this morning, swear to you, the first thought of me is, Al's bringing those sandwiches today. I cannot wait to get my hand on one of those sandwiches. You were here slightly earlier than you typically are, like about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You're right. You're usually right around 9. Today you're about 8:45. You come through the door, had your backpack on, cup of coffee in your hand.
Yep.
And I'm looking. I don't see a bag. Thinking maybe he snuck into the kitchen and left the sandwiches in there. No sandwiches.
Okay.
You really let me down.
Okay, first, we saw each other yesterday for about 3 hours. We
did. We watched a movie together.
Watched the movie together. Sat right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yep. A couple times I looked over to him. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah. We
look over to me. He says, Al, really like where this
we
is going.
We shared a box of goobers.
Wow.
Shared a box of goobers together.
I think at a first date where you put your hand on the rest, leaving it open if she wants to grab it too.
And Trav even did the thing which, I ended up with the aisle seat. He even went one in.
Yeah, I gave Al the aisle seat.
The aisle seat.
Did you do the parrot thing? Oh, you got to have parrot on your shoulder. Oh, let me get it. And then you put his arm around him.
I haven't heard that one. That's great.
Anyway.
So we were together for 3 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
At no point yesterday did it come up in those 3 hours.
No.
Which is not anybody's fault, but at no point it came up. Where it should have came up is I should have told you, Trav, I called the market.
Yeah.
I thought they were open at 8:30 in the morning, but when I called, they said, no, we're open at 9.
It's cutting it a little close.
I can't be in Pasadena at 9. I mean, you're already stressed thinking about it, if that was the case.
If I'm not in this chair by 7 a.m., I start to sweat. So
Granted, you're coming from Ensenada.
South, yeah.
South LA.
Yeah.
So I should have told you, because I had already knew last night. I already knew, Trev, I can't get the sandwich.
Just a heads up.
I forgot about
not going
the
to do the
sandwich
today.
And
can't get there.
I would have gone and picked them up, but they're open at 8, or they're open at 9. I thought they were open at 8:30. And I don't want to, even if I did it, I'll get it after the show, and then I don't see you for, I don't think
it sits around for you. I don't know if you're getting the same experience.
No, I don't think you are.
Yeah.
So
get our intern Ludwig on it, and then he can go get it.
That's actually not a bad idea if we can get some people on that.
Sure.
$6 a sandwich.
Look, I'll buy.
That part's not the problem. It's just
Let me ask you this. Is it an easy on and off the freeway if I decided to make a quick run after the show?
Yeah.
I could be off the freeway and back on again in 20 minutes?
Yeah, you get off the 210 off Lake.
North or south?
You're going to go north off the bridge or over the bridge.
Sure.
And you're just going to take Lake. It's going to be on your right side for, let's say you go down for a mile or something like that.
Okay.
So it's right
That's
off.
not far.
It's not far. But
by the Big Five.
It's also going.
Everything. I guarantee you there's a Big Five nearby. Big Five's on Colorado and Rosemead.
Right.
I'm noticing.
Lake's the next one over.
Where the hell was I? I forget where I was. I'm noticing Big Five now everywhere.
It's a
I'm noticing
business,
them everywhere.
Al. They've been around a long time. If you need a tent, a ping pong table, or a discount tennis racket, or stirrup socks, they're your place.
There's some of them. They're in some really nice shopping centers too. Big Five. No, I'm telling you, there were a couple that I was surprised.
I'm going to need you to cite your sources because I have not had the same experience.
It was one of those
There's
shopping
one across
centers.
from the Mercado in Costa Mesa.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
It was one of those shopping centers where, where basically the shopping center doesn't care what your logo looks like and what your colors are. You're following our shopping center.
Oh, yeah.
So, and those are usually like, damn,
That's
you got
weird.
juice like that?
Well, yeah, you'll get like a Starbucks where the sign is not green.
Yep.
It's like, well, that doesn't is that like a bootleg Starbucks? What is that?
Sprouts, See's Candies, and Ross all have the same logo. That's when you know that shopping center. I'm like, I don't know who owns this place.
I swear to you, there is a shopping center in Santa Barbara that has a Sprouts, a See's Candy, and a Ross right next to each other. I'm like have
where's
you been
the
to the Santa
blue
Barbara
Ross
Vancouver
logo?
Mall?
They're like, no, not here,
Oh,
brother.
that's too good. That's too good.
here.
No, we had a good time yesterday. We got to see a movie, Mel, about Good Karma Brands, which owns this radio station. Craig Karmazon, obviously, is the leader of Good Karma Brands.
Yep.
His father is a media mogul, a titan of media. Literally, like there's maybe 3 or 4 of those people ever. He was one of them. And Craig made a movie about his dad, and it was really fun to go do it last night. And get to see it and learn a lot about it.
Really well made. It
was.
And
great soundtrack.
For us that are in the industry, even if you're not in the industry, I think you could just kind of appreciate, wait, what'd this guy accomplish?
Everything.
What do you mean he just started with CBS and he was just on radio, and then radio they asked him to take over TV, and then, oh, by the way, in TV
merged with Viacom. And,
they're fourth of all the networks, and you know what? Let's go get the NFL rights and get the NFL rights on CBS. Let's get the AFC because of his relationship with Kraft, and then the Viacom, and then Sirius XM, and how Howard Stern shouts him out 95 times. I mean,
he was Howard Stern's champion.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty good.
You see how that did,
Right. Like this was somebody when everybody was yanking him off the air. He's like, "No, I'll do it," and stuck by him through all. It was really
good.
interesting. It was really well done, and it's good to hang out. I saw 2 movies yesterday. I was basically Emily Hegel yesterday.
Okay. I'm going to let you ask about the Alamo.
So this is important to me because it's a very special place to me.
I believe you said yesterday, if you don't like it, don't tell me.
Exactly. And you didn't tell me anything yesterday. You didn't text me yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Well, no, yes, you did text me one time. You texted me, said, I understand how you like this place.
Yes.
Which didn't really make it seem that you liked it or not.
I did that on purpose.
It made it seem like, that I could like it, which is okay.
I believe the exact text was, I can see why you like this place.
Right. Period.
No
All caps on you.
So, first question. When did you arrive? Did you arrive right at the trailer starting? Did you arrive a little before, a little after?
Well, was Jorge
before.
with you or not? 'Cause Jorge was with you. We're about 30 minutes in.
So I believe the show was at 2:20.
Okay.
And you told me this, but it slipped my mind.
The pre-show.
That they won't seat you until a half an hour before the scheduled time. So I got there about 40 minutes prior to that.
Did you look around they have a little kind of video store ahead of time? So you looked around the video store? What stuck out to you at the video store?
It felt incredibly nostalgic that as a child of the 70s and 80s and the 90s for that matter, going to Blockbuster, your local video store, and flipping through and looking at all the boxes on the wall was fun. Like
they had arcade games too.
Yeah, they have like console games that you could go. It was really a neat, cool little eclectic place. Bar wasn't open yet.
Yeah, at 4 p.m. is when it opened, so it wasn't bar open. But if the bar was open, they have really cool drinks. They have VHSs on the wall and everything.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed the venue a great deal.
Okay, so pre-show. So you got in there half an hour beforehand. What did you order? And did you like this? They kind of try to be a little funny, try to do a lot of fun stuff with the pre-show. Did you hate the pre-show? Did you like it?
So what they did, because I saw Twisters yesterday, Slee. Yeah. Okay. And they ran old trailers of all these disaster movies.
Which is the best. It's so fun.
It was. I completely agree with you. Like they had airplane disasters, earthquake disasters, tornado disasters, hurricane, like all of these
sometimes they're really cheesy, sometimes they're really good.
Most of them were kind of like, oh my gosh. And again, it's just because they're 30, 40, 80 years old, but I deeply enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really, truly did. The food thing was a little bit of a challenge for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know how it worked.
Okay.
And I don't ask questions.
So when usually they ask you to see your ticket and they ask you like,
Didn't
do you
ask
know
for
the
ticket.
system?
Neither of those things. Now, maybe I looked like I knew the system. So I sat down, I was staring at my phone, and the guy comes by and he says, are you going to order? And I said, I am. And he goes, okay. And he goes, I'll be back in a second. Do you want anything to drink in the meantime? I said, yeah, I'd like a Coke, please.
Okay.
So he goes, okay.
Was it crowded?
Not at this point.
Okay.
By the time the movie started, it was 60% full.
Okay.
Which for 2:00 on a Tuesday on a
Twisters is like sold out of everywhere. I'm trying to go see it tonight, and there's no two seats
100%.
together.
Everybody that was there thought you were unemployed. Like, this guy hasn't worked in 3 years.
Or fun employed.
You're not wrong. So anyway, guy brings me my Coke, and I'm looking to my right. There's a couple of people sitting there. They got menus, and they're taking out this piece of paper and they're writing stuff down. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And I'm looking around, and I don't see any menus anywhere. And so I'm looking around, like, okay, maybe he brings me one. And he keeps walking by. He doesn't stop. He doesn't. And I'm never the hey buddy. That's just not. I'd rather not eat than.
And it's also
raise my
not
hand.
their thing to have a hey buddy. They have a system to avoid that.
Okay, what is the system? I'm very confused here.
So I finally get up. I figured maybe they have like the menu stacked up in the back, like you're supposed to grab one when you come in. Because I'm looking around, everybody's got one. I'm the only one that doesn't have one.
This is my fault. I'm sorry.
And I'm like, where the hell are the menus?
Yep.
Right?
You're already frustrated about.
Okay, old man.
No, you're not wrong. It was a very old man moment. So I get up and I start walking down the aisle.
You're
and
just reading the paper?
And I see one. There's an empty seat a couple of seats away from me. And I see a menu kind of poking out of the seat. And I'm like, I'm just going to grab this one and go back. And I realize it's in this little pocket underneath the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine had been pushed all the way in. I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I look around and, well, everybody's got the little pocket under here. And then once the movie starts, you're supposed to write down what you want. Like the card, they're like index cards, horizontal. When you want what you want, you turn it vertical, and then they come back. I'm like, I'm not breaking codes here. I'm not trying to like.
The only time I write when I'm at a restaurant is when I'm ordering sushi. You ever have those where they're basically
got the box.
The whole list?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the only time.
So
I want a salmon roll.
I thought scanning the QR code was complicated.
They did not set you up for success.
No,
Typically,
they didn't.
The waiter, even me, that I've gone there a bunch of times, they say, hey, do you know have you been there before? And going through. But if you haven't been there before, they say, hey, here's your menu. Here's how you order.
None of that.
You did not have the best waiter.
None of that. So I finally find it, and then he comes by, and I just tell. And again, we're still 25 minutes away from the start of the movie, so the lights are still up and everything else. So I say, you know what I'd like is I'd like that pepperoni pizza with jalapenos and crushed red chili flakes. He goes, pizza oven's broken. I'm like, damn.
I think I know exactly the waiter you had, by the way.
Really wanted that. I think I haven't had something kind of cruddy in a while. I'm like, yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'm leaning out. I'm getting a Coke. I'm going. I'm enjoying my afternoon. And pizza, and I'm like, okay. And so, and then I said, okay, well, let me see what else. And he leaves. I'm like, all right. There's nobody else in there at this point other than 3 or 4 other people. And he comes back and says, I'll have the grilled chicken sandwich. Okay. And he's gone. And then he brings it back. It was fine. The food was fine. It wasn't the best chicken sandwich I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was fine. I ate every last bite of it. The fries were pretty good. Coke was bubbly and cold and filled with ice. It was awesome. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta go see the theater.
Weird about not knowing how. Now I know how to do it. I'd walk in there like I own the place.
Yeah, and I also gave Travis very specific instructions of how to find this place because it's not the easiest.
No.
If you don't know where you're looking for, it's really easy to miss.
She was basically like Sacagawea. She walked me right to the front of the thing. It was perfect.
I was like scavenger hunt. Here you find the yellow blow dryer. This is where you go underneath it. But yeah, you
know what's funny? You did tell me yellow blow dryer. For whatever reason in my head, I thought you told me blue blow dryer.
Oh.
And I see the yellow one. I'm like, do I keep going? I'm like, there's no way there's 2 different blow dryer places nearby.
Yeah, not the.
So I'm like,
not,
I probably misremembered the color.
Not
so
the yellow one. It's the blue one. Keep going. It's another 6 miles.
They have a bunch of really cool old posters on the walls,
Yeah.
big, large posters that you can walk by. And so, yes, you did not have maybe the most congenial waiter, but he got the job done.
He was a little aloof, but it was fine. We had no social. I'm good with that. Like that does not offend me. I was perfectly fine with it.
And Twisters? Yes, no, medium?
Medium.
Okay.
It was fine. It entered for a couple hours. It was good. I like Glenn Powell. I forget the female lead's name.
Daisy Edgar Jones.
Daisy Edgar Jones was good in that role. It's Twister, man. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. It's Twister. It's a lot of stuff gets smashed and some people get sucked into the tornado.
No cow, which is unfortunate.
No cow, but there's a lot of other things that get obliterated. It's
Go see it. I like the first one. I thought
if
the first
you like
one was
the first one, I would be surprised if you didn't like the second one.
I haven't. Yeah, I don't know when the first one came out. 20 years ago, something like that.
96.
Okay,
yeah.
98, I think.
It's on Max right now if you wanted to rewatch it.
That's the last time.
You don't need it to.
There's really no connective tissue, right?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
They're in Oklahoma and tornadoes show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the movie. It's
and
fine.
Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell in a wet T-shirt. Let's go.
It's cool. and it is exciting. There are times where you kind of like, oh, okay, they're going to make it. They're not going to make it, and not everybody makes it. So it's good.
And so we have this interaction. I'm glad you liked it, but also I have a bone to pick with you. So
Okay.
I could talk about it on the other side,
Let's
but
do it.
I have a bone to pick with you.
You do it, and the Dodgers are going to have 86 rookies pitch in the postseason, I think. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Gottlieb.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
Four season tickets, including their 3 home primetime matchups with the Vikings, Dolphins, and Eagles. To experience the bright lights of primetime at SoFi Stadium and every Rams home game starting at $87 per game, visit therams.com/2024. Again, that is therams.com/2024. Secure your season tickets and see you at the Rams house.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is the Mid-Morning Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Well, I'm incredibly happy that you enjoyed your time at the Alamo Draft House.
Very much.
That you thought the movie was good.
It's
Not
fine.
great,
Yeah,
but great, fine.
It would. I have zero regrets about the movie.
I have a bone to pick with you and your generation.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Gen X everywhere.
Yeah.
Why did no one tell me about Presumed Innocent?
Oh, did
Why
you
did
watch
no
the
one tell me?
Apple show?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's an Apple show that has been, it started, I think, mid-June.
Okay.
Just had its finale yesterday. I will not do any spoilers. Absolutely no spoilers.
Okay.
You can listen to this. Why didn't you guys tell me about that? Because the ending is incredible.
Okay, I don't know the TV show, so I can't speak to the TV show. I know the book and I know the Harrison Ford movie. Do you know either of those, Al?
No.
Okay, so
See, because you're a millennial, so I'm going to give you a pass on this.
I'll
Gen
take
X, you're the issue.
I'll take it.
So it's a Scott Turow novel, who was an incredibly popular novelist in the 80s and early 90s. Cranked out a bunch of really good books, and several of them turned into movies, including Presumed Innocent.
In 1990 with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, and Bonnie Bedelia. Don't you dare leave Bonnie Bedelia
I'm going
out
to
of
leave her
that.
out.
Big fan of Bonnie Bedelia. I'll be honest. I forget movies. The book's 40 years old, right? So I read it when I was in high school.
And the movie's about 30 years old.
Yeah, and I am a little surprised that caught your attention.
I'm not usually a procedural person.
Yeah.
I'm usually a courtroom person.
Yeah.
I was intrigued because there's not much to watch. And two, because I think Jake Gyllenhaal is an interesting casting.
Okay. Slee, let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
If I would have told Emily the following, you tell me whether or not you think she would have responded to this description.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery courtroom drama set in Chicago, and kind of a whodunit, and it's about a trial and an investigation. You think that interests her? That is a rough, broad stroke description of what this was.
Here's the problem with Em. I think she is open to all this type of stuff, and maybe initially wouldn't grab her, but if somebody kind of leans
with the
her towards
exception
there,
of procedurals, like that's not. It's a kind of. I don't want to say it's a blind spot for you, but you don't. That's not something that you're typically very interested
Not
in.
anymore.
Or at least I thought.
If it's good. I think if it's good, if it's anything less than great, I'm not interested.
This hit your sweet spot?
I think this was great.
Okay.
And I think I initially came to watch it because of Jake Gyllenhaal and because of Renata Renzev. She's the main actress in one of my favorite movies of all time, which is The Worst Person in the World. So I'm like, these two people, interesting to put them together. But I was like, as episodes keep chugging along, I'm like, okay, interesting. They have cliffhangers at the end after every episode. Then the finale is just like, what the F just happened?
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't seen that one. But now I'm going to have to revisit all my 80s classics. You ever seen Fletch?
What's Fletch about?
Oh, you really don't even know what it is?
I don't even know what Fletch is.
You would hate it.
Okay.
You would.
I had to watch Jag with my aunt, and I was like,
No.
this sucks.
So Jag is basically Gone with the Wind, or
Yeah.
it's a
Fletch
classic
is
compared, right? Why
Chevy
can't
Chase.
Citizen Kane is what I was trying to pull. I couldn't pull it. Fletch is a Chevy Chase movie where it's just he's a private investigator. And it's
Chevy Chase, I'm out.
that's why I picked it. I had a feeling you would be out.
But David E.
on
Kelley,
Chevy
who
Chase.
is the showrunner of this, showruns some of the better procedurals, so I'm into on it. So if you haven't watched Presumed Innocent, I would suggest you do. And again, I gave no spoilers, just that the finale is great.
Tyler Glasnow back on the mound tonight, Slee, for the Dodgers. Again, depending on how you want to view this, he's basically at his career highs in just about everything. They shut him down right before the All-Star break with, I believe they described it as a back issue, like back stiffness or something like that, which is kind of a catch-all for a lot of different things. If that's what that was, okay. He's had some, a few weeks now to get right. If that was just, quite frankly, nothing, we just need to reset he had a couple of bumpy outings before the All-Star break. Okay. Or maybe there was something wrong with him because of the innings had stacked up. He'd been hurt. Kind of brings an interesting set of circumstances to him getting back on the mound tonight.
So last two games he pitched, and I think you were pointing this out. It's like, all right, this is Tyler Glasnow is expected to be the ace, no question about it. He started the season for the Dodgers. If you're in a playoff game in Game 1, I'm figuring if he's healthy and good to go,
put it to you this way:
he's going to get the ball.
If they played the Pirates in the first round of the divisional series, Paul Skeens against Tyler Glasnow. That's what you're getting. He's going first.
100%. So his last couple of starts, this is what he did. Had a game against the Brewers, gave up 5 runs. Had a game against the Giants, gave up 5 runs. Those were his last 2 starts. And I think the timing of it, because the moment Glasnow was signed, a lot of the conversation was, all right, this guy's an unbelievable pitcher, but health is going to be what will be the most critical piece of his career with the Dodgers. He's just got to be healthy. So I like the strategy of sit this guy out a couple of games, let him kind of get some rest. Do you really need – I think the Dodgers are experimenting. If you watch the Dodgers over the last 30 days, nothing –
maybe longer.
Nothing is it's so much different than a normal baseball team that's out there, and they have such margin for error while a lot of these other teams don't have margin for error. So they can tell Tyler Glasnow, even if he's healthy, why don't you sit out for a couple of weeks and we'll get back to you. They can bring up all these youngsters and say, hey, why don't you get the ball and let's see what you have. And they could experiment like no other team can.
Sure.
I don't think anybody needs to see Tyler Glasnow tonight go throw 7 innings and 110 pitches. Nobody cares about that. I don't think you need to see that.
No, I agree.
I think more importantly for Tyler Glasnow is you just kind of get back into the rhythm. You have time to get back into the rhythm. The problem is they got so many question marks with their pitching staff because of health. Glasnow can't be a question mark. He just has to be like, this is the guy that if you have a question mark about Yamamoto, I get it. If you have a question mark about Buehler, I get it. Bobby Miller, Kershaw, go down the list of all the question marks you can have. Glasnow can't be a question mark. So I think for me, tonight is the start of what should be the long run for the Dodgers with Glasnow.
The experimenting thing you mentioned, I think, is fascinating because they have been experimenting, really, when you think about it, since spring training. They're playing a right fielder at shortstop. Is that not the ultimate experiment? Right? And I'm not saying that part of the experiment hasn't gone reasonably well prior to him getting hit by that pitch, but hey, how about if we take a guy that played some shortstop in high school and throw him in over there? Okay. I mean, that's what they did. They've been experimenting on the mound nonstop, really, from the beginning of the year. That it was Gavin Stone to start was, well, let's see what it looks like. Bobby Miller, year 2, let's see what it looks like. Yamamoto, new league, let's see what it looks like. Glasnow was really the only guy to start the season. You're like, okay, let's just, he's a proven major league commodity. The only question is whether or not he can stay healthy. They've been experimenting the whole time. The good news is, even during this 2-month window where they haven't played great, where they have been running out the Robleskis and the River Ryans and who pitched the other, Landon Knack pitched last night, that you've gone through a lot of these different guys. They've actually extended their lead.
Lost no ground. By the way, does that have more to do with...
Yes, the other guys.
But also them. Because they did come out of the All-Star break. They were struggling before the All-Star break. They
basically went 2 months without winning more than they lost. They basically just
a couple games
stayed
below 500,
right where they were,
right.
And no one could reel them in. It's more of that. There's a lot more about this pitching that I want to get into. Glasnow specifically, but Landon Knack last night, I thought, kind of threw an interesting wrinkle into what happens moving forward. We'll get into that coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. You can go on Prize Picks. You could probably find Tyler Glasnow on Prize Picks right now, Slee, because all you have to do is you can have more or less. More strikeouts or less strikeouts than the number that they put on there. You pick between 2 and 6 players, and if you get it right, you can turn a little bit of money into a lot of money. You can turn $10 into $1,000 at Prize Picks, but don't forget that promo code 710.
I got these hot picks right now. Aaron Judge, more or less than half a home run. I'm going to go more. Corey Seager, more or less than a half a home run. I'm going to go more. By the way, I put in $20. I got a chance to win $170. I'm going to submit my lineup right now. Over 5 million users right now are using Prize Picks. Basically, everyone here at 710 ESPN is using Prize Picks. You know they got a free pass coming up right now, too. LeBron James only needs to score 1 point in Paris for you to win on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Make your first deposit before Team USA's first game to claim this limited time offer. Here's the code. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code 710 on Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Mason and Ireland.
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have to
cross the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go!
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
To every offer. Plus, we'll give you top dollar for your trade-in. Visit unstoppablegroup.com or stop on in and say hello.
Unstoppable Automotive Group, building relationships one guest at a time.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Join your Angels for every Saturday night home game and stay to enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show driven by SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa.
Day has the same person dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't know.
Great question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
I cracked myself up before I was even going to say something. Emily, what's your take on goobers?
Goobers?
Yeah. You know what those are?
I hadn't seen a box of goobers in 40 years
I only know
until
about
last
Goofy
night.
Goobers just from SpongeBob.
Goobers were a movie theater snack that you could get when I was a kid. They're just chocolate-covered peanuts, but they're called goobers. And they had goobers at the movie that Slee and I went to last night. They were wonderful.
No, they're addicting.
Yeah, I ate the whole box. You had one small handful.
I didn't have much.
I gave a few to Deshay,
Yep.
and that was it. And I ate the rest of the box.
Yeah, I was like, Trav, look, I've been eating well lately. He's like, no, absolutely. And then he's just taking down the box.
Chocolate covered. They had a big table with snacks before you went in.
Yep.
Red Vines, goobers, popcorn. There was Milk Duds.
Yep.
And like
tikka masala.
M&M's probably.
Right. No, it was a limited selection, but it was a very curated list. It was awesome. I hadn't had a good Red Vines. Did I say Red Vines?
Yeah.
Yeah, goobers, Em. You got to check that. Do you like peanuts?
No.
Then you're out.
Yeah, I was like,
Love
I think
peanuts.
you're gonna miss me with that one. Also, Red Vines is a very like West Coast thing because I believe that they don't put artificial stuff, so it doesn't carry across the country as well. So I never even heard of Red Vines.
Are you a Twizzler person?
Well, yeah, because I never even heard of Red Vines until I moved out here. So I only have Twizzlers if I have licorice, but I also am not a licorice person.
They're both pretty gross, but a Twizzler feels like you're eating a crown.
Yeah, no, people
like they're so waxy. They're just nasty.
I will eat them. I don't mind them.
You like Twizzlers?
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Really?
At Sprouts, they have like, you know what I'm talking about? They
the
have
different colored licorices.
The different colored ones.
Licor eye?
Yeah, they stay in your teeth for a month and a half.
They're pretty good, though. Do you like black licorice?
No.
It's my number one candy. It's the best.
The black licorice?
The black licorice.
Really?
Like original, like the
That's
actual
the oldest
flavor
man thing you ever said.
of licorice is black licorice. It's that anise or anise. I forget what it is.
Okay.
Like that's the licorice flavor. The flavor of, what's the stuff you take when you get the flu? NyQuil. The Jägermeister. That flavor of licorice.
Remember they used to have that bucket, and they used to pack it, pack that bucket. Now they got a little cheap. Now it's basically counted.
There's a candy called Crows that is very hard to find. You got to go like specialty candy shops. They're basically gumdrops, but all they are the black ones. They're the best.
You ever heard of?
They're phenomenal.
You ever heard of that? I don't know what it is. I know in the Middle Eastern world it's called arak. It's a black licorice liquor.
Oh, okay.
It's like it kind of has that taste
like
to it.
Jaeger? Because Jaeger tastes like black licorice.
It's very popular in the Middle East, but I would say Jaeger.
What's it called?
Arak.
Arak?
A-R-A-K.
Arak.
Yeah. I think it's actually popular in a lot of different places in the Middle East.
All right.
I think you'd like it.
I'll have it with a side of Crows and some Arak.
If you like black licorice, it's right down your alley.
It. Remember my dad used to get it when I was a kid and just be repulsed by it, and he wore me down. It's not so bad. So Glasnow tonight. To your point, Al, I don't think he needs to pitch 7 innings, strike out 10 guys, and be like, okay, I'm back, baby, let's go. Get out of there healthy, number one. End of the day, how do you feel? I feel great. End of the day, 5 innings, a run or 2, great.
Sure.
Like that's the bar, right? I think anything. Look, if he gets roughed up again, then it's like, hey, what's going on? That would be even
3 starts
pre. IL stint, post IL stint, roughed up. So that's no good. If he comes out early because of some sort of physical ailment, that's obviously the worst possible news. But just get out of there healthy and having thrown 5-ish innings with a run or 2, I think is a win for him today where they are in the season. They just need to start building guys back up. So September 1, you're fully cranked up?
I'll go back to this. He's the one pitcher where there's no margin for error. He's the one pitcher that you already have so many questions. By the way, all of a sudden now you got questions with who's going to close games. You got questions. Who can you rely on? You got all these youngsters. What, you're going to give them the ball in a playoff game and expect?
You're going to have to, by the way.
But you're not going to know what to expect anyways. Glasnow is the one where it's like this dude not only has to be there, healthy, but also dealing. Like he's the one pitcher that you cannot, there's no margin for error. If we're talking about how you look at the team and you look at the roster and you look at the amount of games that they're up in the division, playoffs, all that, fine. But he's really the one guy from the starting rotation that he's going to start tonight, but he can't be a question. Like you and I should not be talking about Glasnow. Dodger fans should not be worried about Glasnow. If you have a problem with Glasnow, a month from now, that's a completely different conversation where, obviously it's clear how critical of a piece he is.
If he's something other than a bona fide ace, if he's even a little wobbly as you get to the finish line, now everything else needs to be completely buttoned up. Your margins are down to virtually nothing. Right, you're going to need Mookie to be an MVP. You're going to need Shohei to be an MVP. You're going to need Freddie to be Freddie. Teo's going to have to continue to play like he has. You're going to need to have Muncy back, who's swinging a big bat. You're going to need to have Will Smith performing at a high level after catching a full major league season. Like catchers are notorious; they just start to kind of wane as the season goes. It's just too physically demanding. If Glasnow's really good and you can put 2 games in your pocket, now we just got to kind of hang around and do it. The question is, how do you hang around and do it on the mound? Landon Knack last night did it again. And we talked River Ryan, kind of a big-time prospect. He comes up. Gavin Stone, was all-star caliber pitcher and all these things.
Think of the hype about Bobby Miller on his way up.
Bobby Miller, second year. He throws 100.
Yep.
This, that. Okay, cool. Walker Buehler's coming back. Hey, look out for this guy. He's going to figure it out.
When did the UCLA guy start talking about the Dodgers?
They're West Side guys. Dodger fans and Bruin fans. Can't wait to talk Bruin football later today. Just a little tease of what's coming up later. It's amazing. Might be my favorite press conference moment in quite some time. Put that aside for a second. Landon Knack has been remarkably consistent. He has not been, we're doing it, Bergman. We are absolutely talking about your new head coach. That was unreal. We'll get to you in a second. Landon Knack pitches into the fifth or beyond, doesn't walk anybody, doesn't strike out a million guys, doesn't give up a ton of hits, doesn't give up a lot of hard contact. And all of a sudden, look, you're going to need Knack, Ryan, Robleski, somebody that you had. Stone's almost a gotta-have-it guy at this point, too.
You're right about that.
Because Yamamoto's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Knack may be one of those guys that we're just never really talking about. But my goodness, his performances are so remarkably consistent, which Dave Roberts was talking about it, that, these young guys, sometimes they lose it in the second inning and you're into the bullpen, and that has a ripple effect over 3 or 4 days. Knack hasn't put them in that position at all this year. He's been really, really good.
How uncommon is this, what we're watching right now, where you have so many young players that are getting brought up for an organization that's trying to win a World Series, for an organization that's in the hunt as one of the best records in Major League Baseball. Okay, top 5, wherever they are, right? How unique is this? Because
I can't remember another time.
And
where you're pitching nobodies?
These don't go together.
Yeah.
They don't. And you could look at it one of two ways. You could look at one way, and I think it's the proper way to look at it. Well, that's pretty ridiculous that you have this many guys in your farm system that can come up. Not that they're all perfect, not that they're all going to perform. I think we're watching guys. If I could be critical on the Dodgers farm system, we talk about how great they are. Tell me, of these last 2 years, think about how many guys they've used that they brought up through the farm system. And most of them are not hitting. And I'm talking about Outman, I'm talking about Vargas, I'm talking about...
You're not wrong.
Bobby Miller. Like, you go down the list of all the different players.
They're either not hitting or they're hurt.
But here's what's so random about it. Tell me another team that's competing, and you're competing for a World Series, and you're using this many dudes from your farm system that are just getting their first cracks in the big leagues.
Thankfully, this isn't true. But if the playoffs started a week ago, you would have had a playoff rotation of Justin Robleski, Landon Knack, River Ryan, and James Paxton and Gavin Stone. Okay. It's 4 rookies. And James Paxton, who they just basically said, yeah, beat it. I mean, it's certainly unprecedented in my memory. Maybe at some point and somewhere, they're going to have 1 or 2 of these guys hit, so which allows them to not hit in some other places, which I want to get into coming up in a little bit, because they got 3. Put Glasnow aside, they got 3 very big question marks, guys that you really probably are going to need, and I don't know if any of them are locks. That's coming up. We're doing Ask Trav.
Ask Trav.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Send him to Slee. Send him to M. Send him to
Want to
Jorge.
call in, 877-710-ESPN. You could call in as well.
Do all that. Ask Travis. Coming up next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Godley.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pumped for this season. USC Athletics back on 710 ESPN.
Get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And it is Travis and Sliwa. It's time, like we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:45. Let's get to it. Ask Slee right now.
Our little Ask Trav today.
Sure.
If you're out hanging out, you want to call in 877-710-ESPN. T-Raj, let's start with this. By the way, not a lot of people were supporting you in the black licorice department.
That's fine. More for me.
I was just going to say. So I think when you go to the grocery store, you're never going to run into like a,
where to go? Why is it all gone?
That is the one advantage of liking something nobody else likes.
I am very happy standing on my black licorice corner alone. That's fine.
Okay. G-Fish.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. It's not the big deal. If a hot dog is an appetizer,
it is.
What is a bratwurst?
It's a good question, actually. So here's your options when it comes to the brats. And I've given you my brat recipe, which I'll give you in a second because it's important that you know this. A hot dog is an appetizer, and you can have 2 of them, right? That's how that's the proper amount. While you're cooking your steaks or your chicken or your burgers or whatever, you get a couple of... Put them on the top rack, get them nice and hot, and you can just kind of go as you're cooking the rest of it. It's a good little app. Brats are more substantial. They're thicker.
Yep.
And sometimes they can even be a little longer, but they have much more flavor. There's a lot more fat in a brat, so it's much more satisfying. So if you're going to use a brat as an appetizer, you should probably only have one. You do 2 brats, you're probably done for the meal, right? That burger, that barbecue chicken is probably not going to be necessary. So stand down on the second brat, just have one. Very quickly, aluminum foil pan, right? Sliced onions, sliced apples, fill it with beer, put the brats in there, cover it, put it on the grill. The beer will boil and cook, and they'll cook the brats through, so they're cooked. Take the brats out of the beer, apple, onion solution, put them on the grill to crisp them up, get them the char marks, and get them nice and snappy like a good brat will be.
So it's going to be juicy inside.
Right.
And then the char on the outside. You son of a.
And you take the apples and the onions out of the stuff, put it on there. Yeah.
If you missed this, we'll have it on the podcast so you guys can listen to it later.
That's right. It's you'll be like, where's this been my whole life?
That
it's
sounds
fantastic.
All right, mine's from Cap from Whittier, but I'm going to change your question slightly, Cap. So here's the situation. You can only have one of these be perfect for the rest of your life. The other 2 will be something's wrong with them. Something will be off for the rest of your life. So
Copy.
only one is perfect.
I think I know where I'm going. Go ahead.
Is it a perfectly made ice chest?
Okay.
Is it a perfect bread on a sandwich?
Ooh.
Or is it a perfectly made martini?
It's a martini. Yeah, I thought that's where that was going because a bad martini really truly sucks. It's just not enjoyable. It's super boozy. If it's not cold enough, if there's ice chip, there's a lot of ways you can get it wrong, and it really ruins the experience.
I think I already know the answer to this. You stop going to places just based on, hey, I don't like the martini.
Sure. Yeah. And
food was good. Food is good.
That's a good point. I want to go the other way. I will go to a place whose food's only okay because they do a great martini. Whereas if the place has a mediocre martini but really good food, I'll just get something else to drink. I won't get the martini. Bad bread on a sandwich really sucks. You can still muscle through, right? It's not perfect, but it doesn't completely ruin the experience. And a poorly packed ice chest, while offensive to me, there are ways to do it that you could still survive. The martini, you can't. There's no workaround.
All right, this one's from Optimus Prime Rib. When Trav pumps gas, does he keep going after the pump stops, or do you stop when it gets to a certain dollar amount? So say if it goes over 1 cent, do you continue going until you reach 40? Say it's 42.01. You continue to $43.
Trav actually will put it over the trash can He lost 64 cents because he's trying to just get to $88.
So I fill the tank to the top. So I don't stop at the even number, right? I don't do that. But what I thought where the question was going to be is, so, like you were talking about the other day, you put the pump in the tank, you set the handle, and then you wash your windshield or go get a soda or whatever, right? You clean out your car, whatever. And then it goes click, and it turns itself off. We all give it that one little extra squeeze, right? You get that little, you get another 2 seconds worth of gas in there. I don't know why. I mean, you never get down to the last 2 seconds of gas in your tank, but I just fill it up to the top and then one little quick squeeze.
Last time I pumped gas, I did got there, put in your zip code, put my zip code, and just says C cashier. I'm like, what the hell?
I hate that. That's why I went in.
Right?
So
then now I'm going in, and the guy's like, how's it going? I'm like, how's it going? And he's telling me, he's like, what do you need? I'm like, it says C cashier. Like, I don't know why I think.
I don't know why you summoned me, but I'm here.
I don't know why I think that he should already know pump number 7 says C cashier.
I'm here.
And we're ready to do the transaction. And then the number comes up, and he's like, okay, well, how much do you want to put on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it a new gas station? Is it one you use regularly? Because
I don't use it regularly.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't use it regularly. But anyways, he says, how much you want to put on, and now I'm trying to get the number precise.
4207.
I don't want to.
No, it's 4265 if it's 35% upcharge or whatever.
Right.
What I don't want is, the light is on, so I'm filling at the absolute bottom. What I don't want is I put 60 and I'm 3/4 full. So I'm trying to. I don't want to say 80, and then
you got to go get your change.
Whatever it is, right? So it's kind of funny.
I have a personal question.
Yeah.
So I've been driving my car for a while, and I took it in for an oil change. They told me Valvoline. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So they told me, hey man, you're due for your transmission oil change. But this is where it's gonna get. I know people are gonna come at me, right? For every car I've had, I've never ever done the transmission oil change.
Really?
Really. And look, my Honda got me to 360, 389, whatever miles on it.
Maybe we
Did
should
you guys
not
do
be
that
changing our transmission oil.
No, I'm just saying, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't know anything about cars.
Right.
I have a mechanic that I trust implicitly. We've taken our cars to this guy for 20 plus years. If he tells me I need something, I just
get it done.
Go ahead and do it.
Yep.
Because I don't know. But if I went to a new guy that I don't know and he said it, I'd be like, I don't know. I just don't know. So you got to find the guy that you trust.
This is the fourth time I always do
the. Yeah, I always do the. It's like, hey, we recommend this, we recommend that. They're showing you the light. Valvoline, actually, it's perfect.
Yep.
And there's a lot of times where I'm like, I'm gonna do it next time.
Yeah.
That'll get you out of the place.
I'm gonna do it next time.
Get you moving down the road again.
I'll do a couple things, but not all of them.
What do you got, Slee?
All right, Francis in Glendale. Because I think a lot of people, I think there's a reason why Francis is asking this question. You are kind of known, this is right down your department. When was the last time you got in a fist fight?
I know exactly when it was.
What was it over?
I don't remember that.
And who won?
So I was in the 6th grade.
Yep.
It was with a kid named Eric something. I forget what it was.
Yep. What happened with you and Eric?
I don't remember why we had a fight. I really, truly don't remember. It was at recess. We were playing football. Something happened, and a fight started.
Did you throw the first punch?
I don't remember, but I do, and I'm not doing it. I do remember, like in the playground lore, recess lore, who won and who lost. I was considered the winner of the fight. I remember later that night, his mother called my mother, and I got in big trouble. That's the last time it happened. Yeah, that's like, I don't remember any of the whys or any of that, but I remember that's what it was. I remember at the end of the day, I got in trouble because we were friends. Like, we would hang out and stuff. That was the end of that. We didn't anymore after that. But
we are such a intimidating show.
I know.
Sixth grade.
That's not my cup of tea.
All right, I got one from Jason Torres, and he asks, let's say you have the worst encounter with a dog, mine is getting bit, so a bad encounter with a dog.
Yeah.
And you realize it's Decoy.
Oh.
Otani's dog. Do you tell him to get control of his dog, or do you just smile and say, cute dog? I'm going to, in this situation, say that it's not Otani, because I think you would know it was Otani and have a different reaction. Let's just say it's his dog walker. It's Otani's dog walker, but you know it's Decoy. What do you do?
And Ohtani's not around?
Ohtani's not around.
Oh, then I get that damn thing away from me.
If Ohtani is?
Yeah. Man, that is what's that dog's name? Get it over. Tell me more about it. What kind of breed is that? How long have you had it? Is it the first one you've had? I would be chatting him up like he was my long lost friend, and I'm the basically the president of the American Kennel Society. If it's Ohtani, I would like. I waited 52 years to meet Fernando Valenzuela. I'm not waiting for Ohtani. If I gotta deal with a dog, then I'll deal with the dog.
Jorge, you got one more?
Yeah, it's from Raider Rubin, so we can skip it. Go to the next one.
He is not shadow banned. What do you don't do Rubin
okay.
like that?
No one's shadow banned. You just got to ask good questions.
Yes. Do you have one, Al?
I'm going to find what Raider Rubin said. I'm going to ask you that one.
All right, I will let you look for that while we do it. Austin Rivers had an interesting theory that I think, depending on how much you love the Lakers, you're going to hear, much like we were talking about with Aaron Donald coming or going back, you're going to hear what you want to hear in this. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Rotolo Chevrolet, on the other hand. I'd talk to those guys all day long. I have talked to those guys all day long. I love the guys at Rotolo Chevrolet, Mike Capozio and Eddie and Armando and all the guys that I've met at Rotolo Chevrolet. Here's why. One, they're just great guys. And number two, they know what they're doing. They take care of their people. They take care of their customers. That's why they've won Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. It's because they make everybody feel the way that I feel when I get to go see those guys, when I get to go talk to those guys, when I get to go look at the cars on the lot at Rotolo Chevrolet, the Silverados at Rotolo Chevrolet. I've had a handful of those trucks that we've had over the last several years, and I'm just blown away by it every single time, and their commitment to making sure that you get exactly what you want. And that's what they do at Rotolo every single day. That's why Mike Capozio's dancing on TV. That's what all the fun's about. They're taking care of their people. Right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit in Fontana. Can't miss it. Al drove by it the other day. All the Silverados. You make, model, color, they got you covered on all the Chevy cars and trucks, really. Pricing? Yeah, of course they're going to give you a great price at Rotolo Chevrolet. Customer service, though, that's the only place that you're going to get Dealer of the Year customer service time after time after time. Fontana's not in your backyard. I get it. Go online. RotoloChevy.com. ROTOLO. RotoloChevy.com and tell them that Travis sent you.
You never. 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
So, it makes finding and hiring your next superstar much easier. This is why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So be like the 3.8 million businesses who have come to ZipRecruiter and sped up their hiring process. Try ZipRecruiter today for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. One more time, ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. It's Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa. Travis and Sliwa.
But do you think it's the right move? Do you think it's the right strategy?
No. Live from LA Live on 710 ESPN.
Do you want to read Raider Rubin, or do you want me to read?
No, go ahead. You go ahead. It's about
Raider
a sandwich.
Rubin.
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember the last time someone let you down the way I did by not bringing you the sandwich?
No. I think this is a new low. This is rock bottom of our relationship, Sliwa. You've never disappointed me more.
By the way, if it had anything to do with food, it makes sense.
Yeah, look, I mean,
I could have lied to you. I could have cheated from you. I could have took money out of your wallet.
I could get over that.
All
That's
that, no
fine.
problem.
That's fine. I'd assume you had a good reason to take money from me. You're in trouble. You need to get some gas or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I figured if you took 20 out of my my wallet, you needed it. I really wouldn't even be mad at you. But you did the thing that you didn't have to do. You told me you were bringing sandwiches, and then you didn't.
And I didn't. Freaking did it.
It's just, I mean, that's bad guy level behavior right there. I don't throw bad guy around very often, but you were one today.
What if I just brought one and I was eating it in front of you?
Hey, Trav, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? You know those awesome sandwiches I was telling you about yesterday? Yeah, what about them? I'm going to go get some in the morning.
Do I get?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Do I get anything? Like, it's not that I was
better off not knowing about the sandwich at all.
I didn't have time. I didn't make time. Do I get anything? The fact that it opens at 9?
It's not your fault, but you.
I set it up.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong other than inform me of its existence and then say you were going to bring them. Like, had you said last night, hey, Trav, I went on the website or I called or whatever. They don't even open till 9. I'll be cutting it close. It's just not going to work out. I'm really sorry. Then I would have been like, it's too bad. But
I'm surprised yesterday at the movie you didn't bring it up 4 times.
I should have. I would have known. We would have avoided this entire process along the way. Let's talk a little bit about what Austin Rivers said. I believe it was in an Instagram post or reel. Or Emily, which one was it?
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of curious now.
I think it's a reel.
A reel. Slee, do you know the difference?
It was a reel.
Because I sure don't.
It was a reel.
So the story's there, 24 hours?
Yeah.
And then the reel stays there forever?
Is that the difference?
Yes. So a story, yes, it goes away unless you put it into a highlight. But if it's a reel, yes, it stays there forever. Put it in the highlight, then it goes in some sort
and
of
the only
package.
if you put it on the highlight, you just have the Instagram app open. You just say highlight, and then it goes. It walks right over there.
Oh my god!
That would make sense to me. They should look. There's AI. AI, make that happen. Austin Rivers says that when you're looking at the U.S. Olympic team, the two best players since the team has started playing these exhibition games, and the games actually open in a couple of days, have been LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And I don't even think that that's debatable, right? LeBron James has been the best player, clearly, or the guy that's kind of bailed them out. And if it's not him, it's Anthony Davis.
And that's
a pretty big gap to who's ever third.
I was going to say, and that's a roster that, think about it, kind of coming in, Joel Embiid. The only time I've heard Embiid's name is, hey, Embiid should be benched for Anthony Davis.
Right.
Devin Booker's on that team. Anthony Edwards is on that team. Steph Curry's on that team. Jason Tatum's on that team. I know KD hasn't played yet, but you got some real players there. And anytime we're talking about USA basketball, it's, hey, did you see Bron finish out the game against South? Hey, Bron scored the last 11 points. Hey, Anthony Davis had 6 block shots against whoever it was. Yes, those two have been the ones that have been most consistent.
So Austin Rivers was of the opinion that the Lakers are much closer to being back in the mix in the NBA than they're being given credit for, because this is evidence of them having 2 of the best guys in the whole league. This reminds me a lot of the Aaron Donald thing that we played a few weeks ago, which, depending on what you wanted to hear, I think that it was in there for you. When the Aaron Donald thing was playing, what you heard, rightfully, was, man, I don't have the heart for this anymore. I've scratched that itch. I don't have the hunger to play NFL football. And
I think he's done.
You think he's done?
Yeah.
I do too now, by the way. What I heard in the moment, though, was, I don't want to do this for a full season. I don't want to do camp. I don't want to have to go through and deal with all the stuff year-round to do it. And I'm like, well, that means he's setting up a part-time schedule. I don't think that anymore, but I think it was in there if you wanted to hear it. Here are the 2 things that you could hear when Austin Rivers say they got the 2 best guys, they're close. Okay, let's just assume that they have the 2 best guys.
Which I will say, and I think in the NBA, that's what you need, right?
Sure.
The model is make sure you got 2 guys that complement each other, that
and they
can dominate the game, and
then that's all true. So, okay, then with that in mind, sure, they're close. They didn't just put these guys together. They've been together for a while now. And they've had a championship run in that weird pandemic season. Great. They had another run to the NBA Western Conference Finals.
Can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
The championship run you're talking about.
Long time ago.
I think it's easy to also forget. You're right. That was 4 years ago. But I think it's also easy to forget that team was stacked.
Yeah, they were loaded.
They had a great team.
Yeah, they were.
And even before COVID occurred and they stopped the season and everything else, they were one of the top 2-3 teams in the NBA.
No question about it.
They did have one of the best records in the Western Conference. That was also different than what the Lakers have been since then.
Since then, they've been in 7th place 6 of the last 7 years.
They are also, all rankings that you look at right now, these power rankings after free agency,
they're going the
number
wrong way.
10.
They're going the wrong way.
In the Western Conference, there's a lot of rankings that are out there. They're number 10.
So are they close because they have the 2 best guys in the Olympic team, which is fair, or are they a million miles away because you have the 2 best guys in the Olympic team and the rest of these guys can't get you out of 7th place? I think that's another way to look at it too is, no one debates LeBron James's greatness. No one debates that Anthony Davis, when healthy and when playing at his best,
two-way player in the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are the rest of these guys that bad that even with that you can't get anything going? Because you can look at it like that just as easily as you can look at, hey, we got the 2 best guys. We're really close. No, you're not. You're in 7th place again.
Well, I mean, couple things. Number one, you got to look at is they're not playing against the other USA basketball players. Even if Jokic is on the other side representing his country, the next all-star or a player that's a potential all-star is nowhere to be found, and that's typically the case. Okay, Canada's got a pretty good team. Maybe Spain, France, these guys, they don't have their 8th best guy is not an all-star in the NBA.
It's not Anthony Davis.
The way USA basketball is. I think the other thing to pay attention to, and I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much stock into this. I think you're right that the role players that the Lakers have, here's a reality, they're just not good enough. D'Angelo Russell, I have no idea. Is he going to have 0 points in a playoff game or is he going to have 20? That was D'Angelo Russell. Rui Hachimura has, these are not guys that you're sitting back and you're saying, oh my God, look at the depth that the Lakers have. They clearly didn't show that. But last thing I would keep in mind, the Lakers have played up to this point, or not the Lakers, USA Basketball. Lakers were done basically May 1st. You got a couple months off. These 2 guys are obviously incredibly fresh right now playing for USA Basketball. Lakers win the in-season tournament. That was early in the season. Those guys were fresh. The last 20 games, I feel like in the regular season for the Lakers, there is no, hey, let LeBron and Anthony Davis just get ready for the playoffs. It's, hey, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. So there's this push of these guys got to work so hard to just get to the postseason and just put themselves in that spot. They might just be fresh right now, where come April, typically for the Lakers, the guys aren't fresh.
That's a shame because it would be an ideal situation if the Lakers could do some sort of load management. If they could restrict LeBron's minutes, that how last season Darvin Ham came out and said he's going to only play
one game.
Literally.
It would be an ideal world if he could have less minutes, if he could play less games, and then he could be fresher. But I think also another thing about this is that both LeBron and AD are playing the best role version of themselves. LeBron is best at this point in time in his career as the hero, as the I will take control of this game, I will take the last shot if needed, and I will get this done. At the end is
where I could put my foot on the gas.
That's LeBron's best role at this day and age. Anthony Davis's best role at this day and age is to be more on the defensive side, but to be kind of like a secondary complementary player, isn't carrying the team on his back. And so you're seeing the best role version of themselves. So why can't the Lakers establish around them a way that they can get this role out of them?
Because we're all right. That's why. We're all right. What you're talking about, Em, is exactly right. LeBron James's probably best skill right now, not that he doesn't have a lot, is, hey, guys, get me just near it.
Fourth quarter, 6 minutes left to go. Can I?
Get me near it. I got you the rest of the way. Yeah. I got this. Yeah. There's not a person on the world that can check me for 6 minutes. They don't exist. I can still.
Or game on the line with all these other all-stars. They're giving me the ball and telling me to take over.
AD, you over there? You just play D, get your buckets, and do your thing. Dude, just chill. You're good. And it's like, there's no pressure? Cool. All right, watch this. And he's awesome.
It's not me or we're dead.
Right, not me or we're dead. So you're right. You're right about the timing. You're right about the fact that if the season were 25 games long, we got a chance. Because I can bleed LeBron's tank and AD's tank, and I can put a little extra pressure on AD to try to say, guys, we're all in starting today, right? We're going to sprint to the in-season tournament. We're going to hammer the gas in the in-season tournament. But
it was like December 15th when they were done with that.
The other part of it is they are going to play 82 games. Mm-hmm. They are going to have, because I think I'm right when I'm talking about the supporting cast is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just simply, and not that they're all bad players,
Just
but
not
the
good enough.
group of
Yeah.
the remaining players on that team, Austin Reeves, Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, go right on down the list. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough to take the pressure off of the guys like Emily's talking about, to stem the tide on those long times where these guys, they're going to shut down for a couple of weeks or whatever it is. You're borrowing from your savings bank from day one to cover bad supporting cast. You're borrowing from the bank on day one because you don't have anybody else that can close. So LeBron's got to do it all the time. You're borrowing on Anthony Davis's health bank and just whatever it is that doesn't allow him to be at that 10 out of 10 level every single day from the opening day. We're all right. It's all of this stuff, and none of those are factors in the Olympic format.
I also think that because of how the apron is constructed, you can't create a Team USA. You can't create a super team. They don't have the money to spend to make their supporting cast better because of what the apron does.
Here's what the NBA is right now, and I'll use the Western Conference as a good example. You either have the Oklahoma City Thunder, a star player, and then a bunch of really good young role players that an 82-game grind is nothing. That's not a problem. We go 82 games, no problem. Why? Because of their youth. You have a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Damn, do they have 8 or 9 guys that they could use? Oh, by the way, Karl Anthony Towns, an all-star. Anthony Edwards on the USA Olympic team. They got veterans. Go take the Denver Nuggets. And Denver is actually not that much different in a situation as the Lakers. Every year they're losing more and more of their depth, which is going to affect them. There are a lot of teams in the Western Conference. The Pelicans can have a better record than the Lakers. The Sacramento Kings can have everybody has it for a different reason. Maybe it's youth. Maybe it's the
health.
Maybe it's depth. Whatever the case is. Health is another good example. Lakers are in a weird spot where your role players are not good enough. You need your stars to be good for basically 82 games where, asking them to do that is not fair. Not every team can juggle this second apron. I know the Boston Celtics just won an NBA championship. They figured out a way how to do it, and I know that will have an effect down the road. It's an adjustment for a lot of these squads.
The second apron is a big part of it. I agree with you, Em, but it's the newest part of it. This predates that. This comes before that, and I like the teams that you picked because what do Oklahoma City, Boston, Minnesota, and Denver all have in common, and why are they at the top or near the top right now? What are all four of those teams just – they're all kind of doing something that's very similar to one another in one regard. They've all been patient. That when the Jokic-Murray thing first got, hey, that looks pretty good. Then Jamal Murray kept getting hurt, and they just were never together at the same time at their best. You know what they did? Not much.
Yeah.
Hey, we're good enough. We're just not whole. Wait. The person here, person there. Wait. Don't fire the coach. Let it sit there. Jokic is going to get better. Murray's really good. We're going to add Aaron Gordon. But just wait. Let it happen. OKC has been ultimately patient, stacking up these picks. They make a good deal for Shea. They draft Chet. They got all these other guys. It's like, man, they're loaded. But it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
They were patient. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. How many times did you think they were talking about, hey, we got to keep one of these guys. This doesn't work. We're not getting over the hump.
They're not even 27 years old, and they've been basically to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals
patience.
6-7 years, something
Minnesota
like that.
made that deal for Gobert and everything. It was like, what the hell are they doing? And it didn't. At first, it's like, this isn't very good. Well, here comes in patience.
Good point.
Right? All of these teams, the one thing that I think even the most, let's use the word diehard Laker fan would have, they're not patient.
Yeah.
Why are we not in the finals?
Can I ask you this question?
Because the reason you're not in the finals, because you're not good enough. And the good enough, to Emily's point, it's not coming. You need to be a little patient. John Ireland banging on the table, starter in town. Yeah, cool. That's why you're constantly firing your coach. You're constantly shuffling the supporting cast because you're impatient.
So I think that's an interesting take, but if you told me any of those other teams had LeBron James, I don't think they would have the same patience.
Perhaps not.
However, I think the Lakers never have patience. That's not that.
LeBron makes the patience even less likely.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you even more impatient. But the league is telling you, guys, you need to let this cook for a little bit. You need to let this kind of come together. The Celtics, the Nuggets, the Oklahoma City, Minnesota, even Dallas with Luka. It's like, don't constantly blow it up. Don't constantly fire the coach. Let this thing kind of set up and let them get better together. Lakers are constantly, and the most obvious example of this is at the head coaching position. Mm-hmm. You're constantly turning it over. It's hard to have any continuity. The supporting cast constantly turning it over. And
I don't think that's, by the way, I don't think
to do with AD and LeBron. They're really good.
I don't think that can change, and nor do I think that will change until LeBron decides, okay, I'm done. By the way, when LeBron does decide that, then there's going to be the other page. Who's the next star? Who's coming in?
Lincoln Riley hasn't played a single game in the Big Ten yet, and it's already starting. It's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. And speaking of starting, we started a brand new relationship. Incredibly excited about this with Joseph S. Normand. And my relationship with Joe goes back really a long time, kind of when I first got started here at 710. When my son, Bobby, was involved in an accident, Joe was the guy I called, and he treated Bobby like I would treat him myself, right? Like he treated him like a member of his family, Slee, that the insurance companies, like we know, they're not on your side. Joe is on your side. The law offices, Joseph F. Normand, they treat you like you're a member of their family.
Trust the team, like Trav mentioned. They treat you like family. Joe and the team will help you get the medical attention and maximum compensation you deserve. What sets them apart? Personalized care, tailored attention to each client, honest, integrity, transparent, trustworthy interactions always. And that's why we're excited to team up with Joseph S. Normand, obviously official here on our show.
213-747-2000. That's the number for Joe. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand. 213-747-2000. Say it with me in your car right now. Do it. 213-747-2000 or normandlegal.com. There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have
it's across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
Indeed.
Indeed, you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is your vehicle due for service? Before you hit the road for that summer road trip, head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. No dragging the kids into a dirty waiting room. At Valvoline, you stay in your car safe while the expert technicians make sure your ride is in its best. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa.
Day has the same person dropped off food at your house twice in one day?
That's a great question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
think Trav went to go see another movie at the Alamo. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you enjoy the experience, but I'm going to tell you what was disappointing to me. I said, okay, hey, you back now? Going to go see movies at the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm probably good. I'm probably good on that front.
It didn't change anything.
It was a specific circumstance for you, I feel like.
Yeah, I like going to the movies. It has nothing. It's not that I enjoy. I can't remember the last time that I went to the movie and didn't like I may not like the movie, but
the experience is always
it's great.
Good. Yeah.
It's like for me going to like a Major League Baseball game. I love going to Major League Baseball games. I have a great time every time, but it's not like I'm gonna go every week, or every month. If I don't go, honestly, if I don't go this season, I don't think my life's gonna change.
But doesn't a movie to me is like just the experience of going to a movie. It's so much easier, right? So that's my only. I'm deterred by sporting events for one reason. Geez, I gotta wait in this traffic or this. I got the parking, all that stuff. Am I at a football game? Are there idiots there? Whatever the case is, right? A movie, I could just, hey, a movie starts in an hour. I could park easy, no issue. I'm sitting in a theater 2 hours, no problem.
Let me tell you, I could give you a in-depth breakdown of every movie theater parking lot in Los Angeles and how
to avoid it.
I avoid certain movie theaters because their parking is so atrocious. Like I
come to Pasadena, no issues.
Yeah,
it's got to be something like
Pasadena.
that. Yeah, it's
but like there's the block you walked there yesterday to go to the Alamo.
Yeah,
that is one of the top worst parking garages.
Is it really?
Attached to a movie in all of Los Angeles. It's terrible.
Okay, I don't disagree with you guys. My movie attendance has nothing to do with any of these factors. It's just we never go. There's food to eat and martinis to be drank. That's
right.
That's
you
why
mentioned
we
that
don't
yesterday.
go.
It is just if you're juggling between the two.
It will never
go see a movie, or do you want to go have dinner?
It'll never win the face-off. Right? It's one of those, hey, you want to grab one more drink or go run and catch that movie? Oh, we're doing it. Will lose 100 times out of 100. If the only option, like yesterday, if I was going to go.
You had some time to kill.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Martini's undefeated.
And so the chicken sandwich, it's fine.
I haven't had it,
Yeah,
so I
it's
can't
fine.
attest to it.
It had a slice of cheese. It had bacon. It had lettuce and tomato.
What was its like movie name? Did it have like a movie name?
If it did, I don't remember.
I know that they have like a Royale with cheese.
Yeah,
they
I
had,
did
like,
see that.
Movie type names.
Wanted my pizza, Slee. I'll take the pepperoni pizza with jalapenos and red chili flakes. Pizza oven's broken.
Pizza
It's
a
been
little bit
broken
later.
for like a month
We
now.
got you, brother.
Come
Pizza
on.
a little bit later, about a half hour. We'll get some pizza.
It's like the ice cream machine at a drive-through. Like, it's not working.
Yeah, they just don't want
because they don't want to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, apparently, it's a little challenging to clean. Which of these Lincoln Riley cuts should I play the first, Em?
I think that we should start with how to make USC great again.
Okay, so Lincoln Riley, of course, Big Ten Media Day is going on right now. Excuse me. We'll get to Deshaun Foster in a little bit. Don't worry. Because
anxious anticipation coming.
Wow. Wow.
And don't worry,
I haven't
the full cut.
I haven't heard it, so I want to hear it blind. If that's your reaction, I want to hear it blind.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I just know Berg was in here cursing up a storm, and I'm like, I'm looking forward to whatever this is.
Here's Big Ten Media Day. You got the defending national champions in your conference in Michigan. You've got a team that competes for a national championship virtually every year in Ohio State. And then you got the new guys, right? You got USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. They're all coming in. And by the way, Oregon, top 5 team coming into the season. They're expected to be really, really good. And so they're getting a lot of attention. SC is coming in after having a bad year in the Pac-12 last year. And here's Lincoln Riley talking about how they can find their way back to greatness.
We have built-in advantages that no one else has, and those still exist. I think the key for us is going to be there was a multi-year period kind of after that where, some things slipped, and we've had to come in here and we've had to do a lot of work. We've had to start to rebuild the roster, which, with the roster that we took over is a, 3 to 4 year process. We are in the midst of changing from having, probably, smaller, maybe least functional facilities in the country. And, here a year from now, we're going to have the best one. Obviously, we're in a new conference. We've got new athletic administration. new coaching staff. Pretty much everything that everything that we've done here over the first 2 years is to lay that infrastructure so that the advantages that are here can be there again.
All right. So let me throw this at you guys. had you told me that USC has built-in advantages that other universities don't have 20 years ago, I would have been leading the charge up the hill. Yeah, damn right they do. Heck yeah. They got tradition. They've got location. They've got a pool of athletes in their own backyard that are as good as anybody else's. They care deeply about their football program. They are the crown jewel of their conference. They are this, that, they spend money, right? All of this stuff. Is any of that true anymore? Or at least is it a distinct advantage over other teams? Because now the recruiting's national. You could grow up in LA, you go to Alabama just as easy as you go to USC. You can go to Michigan just as easily as you go anywhere else. Like that recruiting advantage of Pete Carroll used to say, just build a fence around LA, keep all your local kids here, everything else to take care of. Listen, they don't. That advantage has disappeared because they're not winning. This idea that they don't care more than Oregon, not anymore. Oregon clearly has a culture that wants to win just as badly as USC does. Phil Knight basically just said, hey, guys, I'm getting pretty old.
He wants to try to see.
Whatever it takes, go. The portal has changed everything. NIL, like these advantages he's talking about, I don't know if they're quite as big of advantages as they used to be.
So I think there's certain brands in all sports that, let me use as an example. Let's say the Laker brand, Lakers are down. And, right now you could say that, that's weird. Another free agent went to another team, and they went to another team, and this team, and that team. But there are certain brands, when those brands are good, I do think they're different than some of the other brands out there. USC has one of those. They're one of those brands.
Sure, I agree with that.
They're not one of those brands today, but when USC is top 5 in the country, that's different than when Washington's top 5 in the country.
I agree.
That I think they do have to their advantage. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to help you today. It just means that if and when you're good, it just feels different because it's that USC brand. I think the part about the Pete Carroll thing, I love what he's saying, just build a fence around it, keep all the locals. They're here. Here's the problem. If they don't feel like SC is the you-know-what, well, they are going to go somewhere else.
They're going to go where the winning and the money is.
They're going to go where the winning and the money. They're going to go where the money is, and they're going to go where the winning is. And if SC right now can only offer you one of those two, I don't know. I'm sure they have as deep pockets as any of these other programs. They're not hot right now. But if they could, let me take you back to 2 years ago when Lincoln Riley first got here. Did that not churn everybody's head for a second and say,
Sure it did.
Well, I think they're back.
Yeah.
In his first year, maybe you thought they could have done more. I don't think there should have been an SC fan out there that was disappointed in Lincoln Riley's first year
Couldn't agree more.
At USC. But look what they just are coming back from. Last year was a big step in the opposite direction. And that is kind of how, if you want to use fashion or something, there's certain things that are hot for a quick second. You better jump on it. Right now, SC is not that.
So another thing in this regard is that when you said that if you're good at USC, if you're great at USC, and USC is great, that it is different than if it was UCLA, if it was Oregon, that was great. You look at Caleb Williams, and again, I know that he has a special talent. He also was Heisman winner, not in his last year playing in football. So he had another year of being a college football player, like a reigning Heisman Trophy winner. I think that you look at how many commercials he had. It's so much easier if you are the best player at USC to get on a Gatorade commercial, to get on Dr. Pepper, to get on all these places because you can film them here. You can have these big national spots. You don't see Jaden Daniels having those big national spots. You don't see J.J. McCarthy having those big national spots. You don't see Marvin Harrison Jr. having those big national spots. If you are someone who is interested in that and you're the number one best player,
got to be great.
Got to be great. You got to be great.
Yep.
So, if Caleb Williams was that, and I think that you can look at Caleb Williams, and if you're someone that wants to be the next Caleb Williams, you have a really great opportunity to do that at USC.
The other thing that he had in there, too, that kind of jumped out at me like, is, it takes 3 to 4 years to overhaul the roster. Not anymore. Right? That was true a while ago, right, where you had to go through a cycle. You're the kids that you had were the kids that you had. They obviously fired the coach because you weren't winning games. You probably weren't winning games because the kids quite weren't good enough. So I got to cycle that whole 3 or 4 year cycle of kids out to get the good players in. That's just not true anymore.
And his kids are leaving.
That's what I mean.
He tries to retain these guys, and he can't.
Like, you juiced it that first year by bringing in Caleb Williams with you. Like, the recruiting cycle is a 1 year cycle now. Everybody is re-recruited every year. One of the reasons that Oregon went from being really good to, hey, they might win the whole thing, is they went and took Oklahoma's quarterback. Like they didn't go get a high school kid. Hey, he's from
develop him.
Yeah,
and this and that. He's in a red shirt for 2
Dylan
years
Gabriel.
now.
He's
free agency.
Yeah,
so
it's
free agency.
You don't have to wait 3 years to build a
free
program.
agency.
Maybe you have to build 3 years to build some depth, but depth is almost a thing of the past because if I don't play, I'm leaving. It's the rules are so, and I'm not even blaming Lincoln Riley. These are the rules that everybody has to play with, but the excuses need to change. Let me rephrase. The explanations need to rechange. The idea about the facilities, I'm with you on that. You can't go to Oregon, go to Alabama, go to Michigan, go to Ohio
LSU.
State, and look at this stuff. Like they make the Dallas Cowboys look like they're pinching pennies.
Yep.
And
it's all the top programs.
And you go to SC, it's like, yeah, okay. It's just not impressive like that.
I also found another another one of his answers is just kind of laughable because I think we can see exactly through you. So maybe we'll do that at 45. But next is Factor Cap.
And UCLA football in Factor Cap, maybe?
We're definitely doing UCLA and Factor
Because I can't hold it in any longer. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, so we're in the heart of summer right now. You're probably trying to plan, hey, what am I going to go do? What am I going to go do with the family? Think about what a headache it is to get on a flight right now and try to go travel a couple of hours. How about the expense of taking an entire family somewhere? Why would you do that when you could go to Pechanga Resort Casino? Why get stuck in traffic when you could be at the best casino resort in Southern California in less than an hour? I was there about a month ago or so. I got to tell you, Temecula, first off, which is where it's located, such a beautiful location, such a great area, such a safe area. And Pechanga, maybe 5 minutes off the freeway, even if that. Tell you about the Cove, which is an incredible 4.5-acre pool complex. There are 4 pools, 3 hot tubs, 2 twisty water slides at the family pool. The reason why I tell you that, it's a great destination for you and your family. You can really enjoy your time. Of course, you got all the gaming entertainment that's there. Of course, you got the 1,100 hotel rooms, the suite, the spa, the golf course, and 20 bars and restaurants. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA to book a reservation for more information. Also, follow them on Instagram at Pechanga Casino for up-to-the-minute news and info.
There's nothing like NHL hockey, LA Kings hockey on 710 ESPN. Welcome to the family.
Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
With the widest variety of poker and table games around. From easy baccarat, hold'em, 21st century blackjack, and many more. Commerce Casino is where the game reigns. Must be 21. Play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgambling.ca.gov.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And you know what we do each weekday at this time, around 11:30. It is time for Factor Cap. On the Travis and Sliwa Show, presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Injury attorneys you can trust, just like family. Por la familia.
At Normand Legal, you're not just a number. You're a person. You are part of the family. We care for your well-being. You're the number one priority.
213-747-2000. Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Oh, that's cap. That's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
no, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hi, guys.
Aloha.
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 So if I was off this morning, there's a reason. So I think I'm going insane. I think I'm literally going insane because I live in a quadplex, so there's 4 apartments in my little building that I live in. 3 of them are occupied. One is not occupied. And we're pretty close to the apartment building next to us, so if they're listening to TV loudly, I can hear it in my room because the buildings are pretty close. Past 3 days, there has been someone, and somewhere nearby, an earshot of my room only, that the smoke alarm has been going off as like the batteries.
Oh, that's not good.
Consistently or random beeps?
But it's
like every 45 seconds it beeps once,
yes.
Or it like beeps once every 3 hours.
Don't
randomly.
do that, Jorge. I swear, it's that. Every 45 seconds, and it's just loud enough. It's not in my apartment, but it's just loud enough that it will keep me up. So if I'm not in a deep sleep, I will be up, and I will be up until I have to get.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I've put my over-the-ear headphones on. I put in earplugs, and the earplugs worked last night. So either way, this would make you go insane. Travis, Factor Cap.
Fact, it's the worst. Can I offer a very faint silver lining for you? If this, sure. I don't know if this will help at all or not. I need to start by asking you a question. Generally speaking, if this smoke alarm were not chirping, do you sleep well?
I sleep incredibly well.
Okay. This is good training for as you get older, because the older you get, the worse you sleep. And anything will wake you up and probably keep you up for the rest of the night. That's just the way that it goes. So just kind of put this in your back pocket. So when you're not in your 20s and you're in your 40s, like, oh, this is when I had that smoke alarm and I can't sleep at all through the night. So yes, it's going to drive you insane. It's awful. You need to call your landlord and figure out where that's coming from. But at least you're getting ready for when you're a little bit older.
And I also think that I'm the insane person because my roommate can't hear it because his room isn't as close to this is, and so it thinks that I'm insane.
Maybe he's gaslighting you. Maybe he hears it and he just wants you to go nuts.
Al?
Fact, these types of things, especially when you don't have control over, will drive me crazy when I'm trying to go to sleep. Do you guys turn on anything at night just to try? I turn a fan on, and that doesn't mean the fan is directly on me. Sometimes I turn on literally because just drowns
White
out
noise.
some of the noise.
Yeah.
And I find myself the quieter it is where there's no noise, I'm like, no, I think I'm used to the fan now. I think I need that noise to actually fall asleep. If you throw me something like that, or somebody's playing music and I just feel the bass or
the
something
vibration,
they just say you're at your best when nothing else can bother you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I've tried. I don't know how to do it.
Jorge?
Fact, it drives me nuts. 2 weeks ago, I went to my mom's house, and one of her things was going often, very often. I was like, hey, are you going to do anything about this? She's like, yeah, I'm going to get batteries for it, next week.
Next week?
How
what?
do you
I'm
live like that?
I'm like, hold on. I'm going to go
get batteries
I went to the gas
now.
station,
Yeah.
got the 9V, the 9-volt one, the squared one, replaced it, and then there it was. But yeah, no,
She just
it's an
takes it
annoying
off
sound.
when he leaves.
Yeah, that's
She's
my
like,
biggest fear. Is
That's
that
her. That's her white noise. That's what she needs.
But I'm without. Like, I have a fan going that spins, just so we can have some type of room in there, and
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is that it's someone that just refuses to buy the new batteries and that they're just living through the past couple of days. The most optimistic view is that it's someone on vacation that they'll go and fix it whenever they're back from vacation. There is an empty unit too that our landlord is coming in and cleaning, getting ready for new tenants, and so it also might be that. But I would think that he'd already heard it.
I don't know how anybody could muscle through that. It's insane to me.
Yeah, people are different.
I'm with you.
This morning I was driving in and I was listening to the Woody Show, and they were talking about the weirdest hobbies possible for adults. So let's take kids out of this, and we're just going to take adults here.
Okay.
I know I heard it. They kind of got to the point where they thought that adult train enthusiasts were the weirdest adult hobby. Okay, so it's got to be people that are like, I'm going to go chase this very special train in
like
Oregon.
toy trains that you run on a table.
Like trains going by and all the different tracks and stuff.
Oh,
Not
okay.
like toy trains, but like going and chasing
Like
trains.
I'm going to go outside and watch the 635 out of San Diego go by.
Exactly. So my statement is, adult train enthusiasts are the weirdest adult hobby. Al, Patrick Cap.
I'd never even heard of that before. So
Same
this
here.
is
Yeah,
this
same.
is I'll say
send you a rabbit hole of this one guy in England who's obsessed with them.
Okay, I'm going to say Cap, and here's why I'm going to say Cap. I'm sure I could find something weirder, even though that's pretty weird. But I think I could find something weirder. I remember seeing one time on YouTube where there were people catching trains, and it was like a commercial train and not an Amtrak or something like that. It'd be they would
Like
get
a freight train?
like a freight train, and they would take it from Chicago to blah blah blah, and they would just this was their content, and they would just randomly get on.
Like they were like hobos?
No, they weren't. They
But
were
they would just travel by train.
Travel
and then
by train.
do reviews of trains. Is
But
that what you're talking about?
non-commercial trains is what he's saying.
Non-commercial. These are-
Non-passenger trains.
No, these are they got
Freight
the,
trains,
the-
box
the
cars.
box cars, and everything else. And they would, and it's like, hey, we got to lay down because there's a cop looking or something like that. It was random. I didn't even know what the heck it was. I didn't really watch much of it, so I thought maybe this is where she was leaning towards. But I'm sure there's weirder stuff out there.
Trev?
I think it's Cap for the reason that Al said. I'm sure there is something far more like at the end of the day, going and watching the train goes, it's relatively harmless.
Yeah, so
It's-
let's say non-insidious things.
But even if it's not like non-insidious, there's stuff that's like, yeah, that's just creepy, man. Like you're maybe not hurting anybody, but it's just deeply upsetting. This just sounds boring. you know, like this is just, yeah, there it goes. All
Then
right,
you get
see-
excited. It's like, that's that one.
See you tomorrow. Like it's just boring to me. I don't think it's particularly weird. It's just super boring. But let's be specific here. Any hobby that you're super into is automatically off-putting. We all have little things that we like in here, but like if your entire day consists of that thing, whatever that thing is, it's kind of weird. You're going to need to dabble in a few different little things.
Jorge?
Yeah, this is weird, and like I've never heard this before. But you guys remember that scene from My Cousin Vinny where he's like, "What time does the train come by?" He's like, "Oh, 6:45 every morning," and then the train never does, and it reminded me of that. Like the guy knows when exactly the train comes by.
Al, what's going on over there?
Well, I told you. Yeah. No, we're
He didn't get that. He didn't get the sandwich, but he hooked it up in a different way.
I made a call.
All right,
What's
so
next, then?
I got one more for you, and we've been teasing this all morning, okay? So we're going to play this for you.
Ay.
So Deshaun Foster is the new head coach of the UCLA Bruins football.
Former UCLA football player who was
Right.
one of the great Bruins.
Yeah.
Right. And it's Big Ten Media Day, and so they're doing the press conference in front of a large group. It's a large stadium. I think they're doing it in Indy. maybe?
Okay.
Anyway, so he has a absolutely interesting introduction, and I'm going to play the entire thing. We did not edit this. The spaces are there, and this is Sean Foster's entrance, and this is his unprompted speak for as long as you want statement.
How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. You know, I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC.
You don't say.
We,
yeah.
I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
In a second. UCLA. Fight. Who's not fired up? Let's go, Bruins!
Bro, what was that?
Are you kidding me?
I didn't want to make eye contact with you because the whole time I'm like, no, you're gonna deter me one way or the other. What was that?
That's
Come on,
awesome.
Deshaun.
I've never been a bigger Bruin fan in my life. If that doesn't get you on the edge of your seat, if that doesn't make you want to run into the Rose Bowl and go kick some Big Ten ass, let's go.
We're located in L.A. SC's also located in Los Angeles.
If you didn't know, we also play football.
What the hell is that?
Oh, goodness.
Vince
Deshaun.
Lombardi, Newt Rockne, and Deshaun Foster.
Come on,
let's
brother.
go.
So my statement is, this sounds like someone who didn't know they needed to present as part of the group project. Travis Fettercap.
Fact. Everything is a fact. This is a failure on every conceivable level. On the athletic director's fault. It's his fault. It's his assistant coach's fault. It's his SID's fault. It's everybody's fault. This is your moment to kind of stand in front of new people, right? Hey, we're here. You could say almost anything you want other than we play football in L.A. next to SC. Yeah. If there's one thing everybody knows, it's that. Yes, fact to all of it. This is... why is he not the coach of every team? Like, I want him to do the press conference for every team. Hi. I'm the coach of Michigan. We play football in Michigan next to
Michigan State.
Ohio State. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I can't believe that happened. It's tremendous.
The guy said, I don't know if you know anything about UCLA football. Well, you don't either, bro. It sounds like you don't either.
But you're not wrong. It feels like and look, it's kind of all of our worst. Like, we all have the dream, right? Where you show up to class and you're unprepared for the exam. Or you have to deliver a speech. You don't know the topic. You have to perform an athletic feat that you haven't. We've all had that. He just lived that. It's incredible.
Al, what do you think?
Fact, and, I really, really would like to see Deshaun Foster succeed at UCLA. I have no ties to UCLA. I'd like to see him succeed. I didn't make eye contact with you for a reason, because I'm like, if I make eye contact with you, you're going to be basically giving me the look of like, I don't know what the hell he's doing. The way it started, I'm like, all right, just waiting for it. Is there something that happened? That was awful. You can't get any worse than that. That was the worst. You know what's unfortunate about this? These are one of the clips they're going to play for a really, really long time. Remember that time Deshaun Foster was introducing UCLA to the Big Ten?
About that.
We're going to talk about it in 10 years when M puts up, do you know this happened 15 years ago, 10 years ago? That was one of the worst 30, 45 seconds I've ever heard a coach talking about introducing his freaking team.
It's the new gold standard for, is it worse than Deshaun Foster? It's the new thing you measure the worst against. Like, before it was Miss Teen USA, U.S. Americans, everybody all likes such as. Remember her? Like, her thing was the worst thing. Well, everybody likes such as U.S. Americans. We don't even have maps, so therefore freedom.
Yep.
And everybody's like, whoa. What the hell was that?
I was the only one that stood up and started clapping.
She's pretty good looking. But then there's this. This is the new one.
Jeez.
Congratulations to Deshaun Foster.
Got a nice suit on.
He looked great.
Oh, he looked clean. Looked very good with that suit on. All right, Factor Cap, of course, here with the Travis and Sliwa Show. It's presented by Joseph S. Normand. You have many choices in the legal team, but family always comes first. Call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand. Again, the phone number, 213-747-2000, or visit normandlegal.com.
Get your people in here, Slee. We got there we go. Carlos got a couple of buckets. Our friends from Pizza Hut.
You know what's going on right now?
Again.
It's Chicken Wing Week.
Stop.
Not day.
Week?
Week. Wing deals for Wing Day, but it's actually week. How great is this? 75 cents each boneless wings and $1.50 each for traditional wings. It's going on all week. Use that promo code ESPNLA10 for $10 off your $40 order. And I'm sure everyone on YouTube is like, why don't you shut up, Alan, and just show me these damn wings?
Did you get the boneless ones? Yeah. I got the traditional, like buffalo.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
First off, that wasn't in your hands for more than 1.4 seconds, and 60% of
I can show you the little
wing
twist and pull, and this thing will be meatless in about a quarter of a second. I'm the opposite of Deshaun Foster when it comes to eating chicken wings. I'm going to do work.
75 cents each boneless wing and $1.50 each traditional wing. Thank you again, of course, to Pizza as always. Appreciate it very much. Use that promo code ESPNLA10 for $10 off your $40 over or your $40 order. I'll talk here because Travis is eating. We'll be back, and then I can eat during the commercial break. And then when we're done eating, then we'll get back on.
We need to talk.
On
we
the
need to talk
radio
about
show.
Deshaun Foster, like
More
in
Deshaun
a real
Foster.
sense, because wow, Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. This fall, the new home of the USC Trojans.
The new home of the USC Trojans.
The Trojans are back.
The USC Trojans play on LA's mega sports station.
That's right. USC football, USC men's basketball, and USC women's basketball are on 710 ESPN coming this fall.
710 ESPN, the new home of the USC Trojans.
California Cryobank is seeking young men to join their team by becoming sperm donors. You can make up to $1,500 a month. If you're eligible to work in the U.S., you are eligible to apply. Make a meaningful contribution and earn some extra cash along the way by visiting spermbank.com. That's spermbank.com to apply. California Cryobank, helping make a family's dream come true, one donation at a time. Apply today at spermbank.com/ESPN.
So, Slee, Prize Picks, basketball, the NBA basketball at least, may be over. But that doesn't mean that you can't play Prize Picks. I played Prize Picks baseball basically from the moment that spring training starts until where we are right now, all through the end of the postseason.
You play the long game.
I have some long game, and I love the short game. And I don't mean to give away any secrets. Shohei Ohtani's a pretty good pick. But this is Prize Picks. You pick 2 to 6 players. You pick more or less on their stat projections. And if you get it right, you can turn $10 into $1,000 on Prize Picks.
Here's what's cool about it. You don't have to be watching your team, but you can. You don't have to be watching your specific squad to a certain sport. You got the WNBA, you got Major League Baseball. You could even look, and I think there's this adds a little bit of drama to what we're doing. Go look at the game tonight. Go make some picks there. You could do it, and all you got to do is put our code in. Download the app today. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code 710 on Prize Picks for a deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mason and Ireland.
Totally petty, and I love it. Totally 100% petty, and yes, good, I'm glad.
The biggest show on the radio. Today at 1 p.m.
on 710 ESPN. This is the Mid-Morning Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Look, I don't know about you, Al.
Yeah. Where's Berg, by the way?
When you talk for a living, the way that you and I both do.
Yep.
You need to be a little bit of a soft touch when it comes to being critical of other people talking in front of a mic, because for some people it's very uncomfortable.
Sure.
And it's not what they do, and it's certainly not something that they look forward to. But being a head coach of a college football team, you're as much of a CEO and a cheerleader, and you have to sell it. You have to sell it. And I get it. Look, Chip Kelly, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was living in Houston, they had this thing called the Lombardi Awards, where they would bring in, 4 or 5 different college football head coaches.
Okay.
And they were all the nominees for the Lombardi Award. One person would win it. And they would each deliver a little speech, 5 minutes, maybe 10 tops, very quick. And without exception, with one exception, there was humor, energy, and enthusiasm, right? That Bobby Bowden, who's a classic, just like he's almost like a cartoon character. He's so charismatic, Southern accent, like just he was terrific. Mike Sherman, kind of not a particularly successful coach, but he was the head coach at A&M at the time, gave this great speech. Kevin Sumlin, who's bounced around a little, was the head coach of Houston at the time, gave this great speech. And Chip Kelly gets up there, who was coach at Oregon at the time, and basically said, thank you for coming out and go Ducks. And went and sat back down again. It was really weird. Like, compared to the other people in the room, it was super awkward and short and uninspiring. The event ends, lights come on, and all these coaches are, like, people are coming up to them, want to pictures and autographs and talk football. And with, again, everybody was super, and Chip Kelly basically ran for the door. Like, just get me out of here. He clearly was Chip Kelly is the greatest college football. He's Pete Carroll compared to what you just heard from Deshaun Foster. And I want to play it again because how do you recruit? How do you sell this? How do you go about doing any of this when this is your introduction to a new league and this is how you do it?
Can I give you? You got a story. I'm gonna give a quick one too.
Yeah,
just a quick San Diego State story. Okay, Brady Hoke was their coach and was their last football coach that they had. And I remember listening to him to an interview. He was on one of the local radio stations. I'm listening to him. And the entire time, this is last year before the season started, the entire time I'm like, there ain't a recruit coming to San Diego State if you paid him $1 million. This just, there's no life in his pitch or his energy and everything else. They made a change in the offseason. I don't know if you know the name. His name is Sean Lewis. I don't know if that name rings a bell at all. Okay, last coach he had was he was the offensive coordinator for Deion Sanders at Colorado. Okay. 36, 37, maybe 38-year-old, something like that. Okay. This guy, from the absolute beginning point he touched the microphone, it was, I don't know what this program was before, but that's changing.
Right.
It was, you should grab your tickets right now because I guarantee you we're going to start selling out this place. And I have no idea if Sean Lewis is going to be a good coach for San Diego State. I have no idea, but I like what you said. You're the president and CEO that represents your company.
CMO too. You're the chief marketing officer. You got to sell
You're everything. And all he did by just this, and he's very consistent sending out tweets and saying, this is what we're going to do today, and he's got this positive message. Again, I have no idea if he's going to be a good coach, but I got sold in I'm interested in what he's trying to sell me. What we just heard, and this is just I'm using a local example, a personal one for me. I will buy tickets, and I'll try to go see some Aztec games because I know there's a new coach there. I don't know what the hell I just saw.
Think about the name that you just threw in there, and then we'll play this for you again in a second in case you didn't hear it last segment. Deion Sanders, right? Deion Sanders is at Jackson State and does really well, and he gets a chance to go to Colorado and coach. From the day he shows up, I don't know what the rest of you are doing, but this is, I brought my luggage and it's Louis. It's like he's showing up. Every time they won a game, he's strutting around, he's doing his thing. Like Deion or dislike him, Deion became the center of attention of the college football universe for about a month. Mm-hmm. And it was all like, hey, let me check that out. Does anybody want to check this out?
How you guys doing? I'm happy to be here. Glad to be a part of this great conference. Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten. We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA.
It is true. It is.
It's us and USC.
Yep.
We
Good point.
I'm just basically excited. Okay. Really. That's it. Any questions?
Many.
In a second.
If you want to call our university, it's 310-825-4321.
Got many questions. Let me throw this out there.
Damn,
that's
Deshaun.
the fourth time I've listened to that. I've got a question, and I know what Greg's answer is.
It's tough to hear. By the way, that pause, like my stomach's.
You can feel him. You can feel him
forward it.
panicking in that moment. Here's my question to you, and we'll answer it on the other side. Is there any chance at all that was high concept art? That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. All right, let's talk about next gen. Right, the heat is on at in a particular football program. After that performance, you're going to need a good air conditioner to cool things off. Why not call Next Gen, right? The official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. That's right, Next Gen. They're the best in the biz. They've got thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it, including my review. I've had them out twice. They were great both times. Once for a plumbing problem, once for an air conditioning problem. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. And right now, you can get one of those plumbing problems knocked out for just $88. You got a slow drain in your house? How about an $88 drain cleaning? And they'll add a free plumbing camera inspection. So 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's the number that you call. 833-3-NEXGEN. And you heard Morales in here the other day, right? He was looking for some Sudafed because it's allergy season. So if you have allergy concerns, if you have questions about the air quality in your home, why not call NextGen and breathe easy with indoor air quality solutions to fit any budget? Same number, 833-3-NEXTGen. That's 833-3-NEXGEN or nextgenairandplumbing.com to schedule your appointment today.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Grinch era?
New conference, new quarterback, just really fired up on the football side. New head coach for basketball, so almost like a really new team, which is going to be awesome. And then returning to prominence for USC women's basketball, to be back to where USC women's basketball is. I'm super excited to see Juju in her second year, but just the rest of the players continue to grow under Coach Godley.
This beautiful thing has been up since the first time SC was here. But guess what? USC is back! And once again, this means something for us. Pump.
There's nothing
Yes,
like NHL
good,
hockey.
I'm
LA
glad.
Kings hockey.
The biggest
on
show on the
710 ESPN.
radio.
Welcome to the
Next
family.
at 1
Brand new
p.m.
partnership.
on
We're excited to have the
710
Kings right
ESPN.
here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings.
The summer
And
of
Trav, now I
soccer
just
will
need
come
an
to a
invitation
close
to
at
catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
across the
accept.
street. Now it's
That's
across the street.
Go
All right.
Kings, go.
Go Kings, go.
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go.
Go Kings go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings go. Go Kings go. Go Kings go.
That mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It's Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa.
Day has the same person dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't know.
Great question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
I think I want to order the sandwiches.
Good. Let's go. We'll chase those wings and pizza with an Italian sandwich. I'm in on that.
That wings and pizza really hit the spot.
It
And the wings are great, and I know that they're celebrating Wing Week, and so you can get discounts on that. But also, their stuffed crust pizza, I'm addicted.
Is there some of it over there?
Yes,
I had a little of the thin crust pizza.
There's a Meat Lovers stuffed crust pizza. Oof, amazing.
I do that. I'm
What?
kind of addicted to the pesto tavern
Yeah.
style.
Kate's was talking that one up.
Thin crust.
You know what today
Thin
is?
crust guy.
Oh, yeah.
Today's the anniversary of George Brett losing his mind because there was too much pine tar in his bat.
I thought you were going to say it was too much tequila. That's
It's
another one.
tequila day, too,
Yeah.
right?
Where's
Where's the bottle of tequila mandala? Let's go.
You know what else today is? Today's the day that Deshaun Foster gave his speech for the UCLA program at the Big Ten meeting.
No, his speech hit the transfer portal. That's what happened.
In a year, we will be saying today was a year ago.
No, in a week, I'm going to write down and put on my notes. On this day last week, Deshaun Foster said this.
1 week ago today.
So if you're the UCLA SID, the athletic director, you very quickly get him in front of somebody else, right? And try to, hey, guys, That wasn't very good, was like you have to make a joke out
And
of
remind
it.
people what the SAD is.
You got to kill it with that. You're right.
Yeah, you need to go. That's where the proverbial get back on the horse, right? You got thrown off, get back on it, and make a joke about it. Like, guys, I don't know. I've had an out-of-body experience. I don't know what was going on. Let me tell you about my program. Right? Don't you kind of have to do that?
It's the only way you if you pretend it didn't happen, it never goes away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That is okay. This is maybe you guys know this example or not. I'm not won't get into the details of it. There's this guy one time who had like 1 million followers on YouTube and Instagram and this and that. I won't get into the details, but something happened where he ended up getting into a fight, and he got
like a physical fight.
A physical fight, and somebody had recorded it.
Okay.
And this guy had a lot of sponsors. He had this, he had that. Like, he was killing it, and he was a young kid doing his thing. He never addressed the fight. And everyone always would say in all of his comments, so he just, like, tried pretending like it never happened.
Yeah.
And it was his fault on the fight. Like, it was like it was a bad look on him.
Yeah.
He never addressed any video he put out, the comments are like, did you think we forgot? Did you think we this? That's all they would be. And then his views just like down to like basically, and I don't know if he ever did address, but he never addressed it.
That's a great example.
This is, and I know this is a completely different situation. It's impossible, and I think that's such a good point of saying, hey, the next opportunity I get, as soon as possible, I got to address this, and I got to just make fun of it, and that's the way people start. Forgiving is not the right word. That's where people just start saying they move on. That's it. They move on, and they say, "Hey, this dude's a human too, and we all make mistakes."
Of course.
And then that's it. If you don't say anything, I think that hurts.
It's just so unlike college football coaches are they're one of two archetypes. Massive charisma, massive presence, where they come in and they fill up the room with their personality, with their energy. Ed Orgeron's a great example of this. And quite frankly, while Nick Saban isn't a yeller and a screamer, Nick Saban's presence is overwhelming, right? Nick Saban's actually kind of a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But he comes into the room, you're like, even if you don't know, like that guy's, who's that, right? They're just some people, you're either full of energy and enthusiasm, or you are, I know exactly what I'm doing. There's not one player on your team I don't know about, one player on my team. I know how you do this. I know what you guys run on 3rd and 4 from the boundary side of the field inside the reds. Like I'm a lunatic. Like I'm almost to the point where there's nothing I don't know about all of this, and I'm so buttoned up. What you don't see is flatlined and unprepared. Those don't go together. And that's what you got from that guy. And maybe he's much better when there aren't TV cameras pointed at him.
I don't think it necessarily means that he's going to be flatlining with his players. He might, with his players and in pump-up speeches, be very exciting. But it doesn't mean that
Hopefully
he's
just a moment.
coach.
Hopefully it's just a bad moment.
Yeah.
Move away from that.
Lincoln Riley also talked today. He was talking about how, SC needs to upgrade their facilities. They need to overhaul the roster. And they're very, very kind of standard boilerplate college football coach coming off of a down season.
The same reasons, though, he's been saying since they had a terrible season, and he's been saying the same stuff all over again. And this is on Unsportsmanlike, too, by the way.
Yeah, and he was on Unsportsmanlike, and he also was asked the question that really kind of goes back to his time at Oklahoma, Al, where, hey, are you going to go to the NFL? Is the NFL something that is in your future as a football coach?
I haven't. Not in previous years, not recently. It's not something that's in my mind. I think I have the best job in football. I love where I'm at. I love coaching college football. But yes, we've had a lot of changes, but I still think what makes the game great still absolutely exists. And so very content with where I'm at and just very focused on building it here at USC.
His name has been connected to NFL jobs for a while. Even after a down year last year, his name kept popping up. Like we'll use Dan Hurley as the example.
Okay.
Dan Hurley won a couple of national championships at UConn. It's the hottest guy in the sport, right? Cool. And he said, yeah, of course. And it's the best league in the world. Of course I've thought about it. I would, yeah. I have. He didn't go. He stayed. I don't think anybody at UConn's disappointed that he's thought about it. You believe that when he says, no, I haven't given it any thought at any point? I find that really hard to believe.
No, I don't believe it, but I'm not, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't bother me. I don't believe him, but it doesn't bother me. I think maybe if Lincoln Riley had won a couple national championships and knew that, hey, I could also use this as leverage. Lincoln Riley's in a good spot. SC's going to pay him, but he hasn't won a national championship. I think the Dan Hurley example is, I just won 2 national championships for UConn. I am the hottest name around. And I guarantee you, if I said tomorrow I have interest in the NBA, 5 or 7 GMs are going to say, how much interest does he really have? Because we'd love to give him the keys to this franchise. I don't think Lincoln Riley's in that spot. I do also think Dan Hurley was using the NBA. Not that he wasn't interested, but can I also use this as leverage? Either way, I don't lose. I mean, UConn's either going to offer me more money to stay or I'm going to go get a job in the NBA. Impossible for a coach like Lincoln Riley to not have ties to the NFL. I don't believe him, but I'm also not against him saying, I think about the NFL.
Yeah, here's the part I don't get. Like, he's been successful, right? Like, at Oklahoma, they won a lot of games. They were in the mix frequently. His first year at SC, they were in the mix. They didn't get in the Final Four, but they were near it. They were part of the conversation.
3 Heisman Trophy winners, 4 Heisman Trophy finalists.
Yeah, I mean,
he's 40.
Right.
So
the best football league in the world is the NFL. And I'm not saying, I think about it every day, but it's like, look, I'm here at SC. I have no idea what's coming next. I'm fully convinced to this. And maybe he doesn't even have to say it, but of course you would be thinking about it. Of course. It's the best league in the world. What I don't get is why his name is that's the topic now. It's like the topic now could be, hey, one really solid, like you said, I don't think there's an SC fan after his first year there that wasn't like, we got the guy.
Yep.
We got the guy. Give him another year, get that defense fixed up. We got it. Coliseum was rocking.
Caleb Williams is coming back.
Caleb Williams is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Coliseum's full. The alumni is enthusiastic. The SC football has some traction here after years of Sarkisian and Helton and just kind of spinning our wheel, really never getting any sort of. We're back on the right track. And then last year,
threw everything off.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work. They finished in the middle of the pack in your conference, and now you don't have a Heisman Trophy winner coming back. You're going to a more competitive conference, at least theoretically. I think practically as well. Now's the time that those questions, like, why now? Like, had they won a Heisman Trophy, then the next year go to the Final Four, maybe even get beat. It's like, we're trending in the right, like, okay, but we went the wrong way.
Yeah, no, the expectation, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. It's all over the place. They're predicted to be 6th in the Big Ten, so it's not like the trajectory of where they're going is the proper trajectory.
That was accidental. I'm so sorry.
Like, why is Chris doing the Olympic theme?
It was an update. Yeah. We're getting ready for the updates, actually.
That's right.
Minimania. No, he'll be here for a while. This year.
But you also got to show, like, this is
they play 12 games? Is that what we looked up yesterday?
12. Yeah, I think you said 7 and 5, right?
Let's say they win 8.
It's a good season. I'm sorry, it is.
I think so, too.
I think it's a good season.
I think so, too. 7 and 5 a good season?
7 and 5 is, you can't use the word good.
Yeah. Is he on the hot seat?
No.
I don't think so
Not
either.
7 and 5.
6 and 6?
I think it's a conversation of, is the program heading in the right direction or the wrong direction?
Are they heading in the right direction if they're 6 and 6? Like, I mean, maybe if you beat Ohio State, Oregon, and I don't even know who they play, and Michigan, sure, you just.
No, I think it's safe to say they're not.
Yeah,
because they'd be coming off 2 years in a row where it's below what your expectations were.
Hot and Cold's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, we had the privilege here. Of course, Pizza Hut always hooks it up here at 710 ESPN, introducing Pizza Hut's new tavern-style pizza. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with incredible new tavern recipes. Right now, get a medium one-topping tavern-style pizza starting at just $12. I could tell you firsthand. A lot of different great recipes. We got them in the kitchen right now. The ultimate with pepperoni, Italian sausage, spicy chicken sausage. You got the pesto margarita, which is my favorite. Also got the double pepperoni. Another thing to keep in mind right now, Chicken Wing Week, 75 cents each boneless wings and $1.50 each traditional wings. Use that promo code ESPNLA10 for $10 off your next $40 order.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland today at 1 after Travis Lee.
You're brainwashed. Brand new partnership. We're excited to have the Kings right here, the home of the Los Angeles Kings. And Trav, now I just need an invitation to go catch a game.
You have been giving you one forever. Now you have to
across the street. Now it's across the street.
Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go!
The Kings are back on 710 ESPN. Believe it or not, I did pregame for the Kings 25 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Luke Robitaille, the rest of the Kings organization couldn't be more excited. Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go. Nothing like live hockey. Nothing like seeing it in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. And we've got them on ESPN LA. Go Kings, go.
We're so excited. The LA Kings have found a new home right here on 710 ESPN. Can't wait to see you on the ice.
I want to congratulate the LA Kings. You are now on the greatest sports radio station in America, 710. And guess what? Now I get to be one of the ice girls at a Kings game. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go.
A meaningful contribution and earn some extra cash along the way by visiting spermbank.com. That's spermbank.com to apply. California Cryobank, helping make a family's dream come true, one donation at a time. Apply today at spermbank.com/ESPN.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And it is Travis and Sliwa. As you know, we've welcomed the new partner here at 710 ESPN, Next Gen. Next Gen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week at 12:30 p.m.
'Cause you're hot and you're cold.
Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to Next Gen. Boy, time for Who's Hot, Who's Cold. Take it away, Producer M.
All right, thanks, guys. What's hot is
Aloha.
definitely those boneless wings. I just housed an entire box of them.
Get in
because
line.
They're really good.
Get
Again,
in line.
it's Wing Week. And,
Right.
oh, what's the deals again for Wing Week, Al? Do you have the
I got
copy
them
out
right
there?
here. I got them right here. All right, 75 cents each boneless wing and $1.50 each traditional wing this week at Pizza Hut.
I mean, I could have done 40 of those because they were so good.
Pretty good.
By the way, if you sell anything by one like that, I always end up spending more.
Yeah.
To anybody out there that is, I don't know how it is for you, but if you just tell me, you know, if I could get 6 wings or something and I just order it by 6 wings, I'm going to go order 10 because I know they're X amount of, I'll take 10 wings. I think I'm a sucker for that when you're selling things by the one.
Yeah, there was like a birria taco place I went to yesterday. Great. Loved it. But it was by the taco.
Okay.
Again, spent more than I probably should have, but they were fantastic. I love birria.
Yeah, I go kind of the other way. Like if it's one by one, I'll order 3, and if I'm like, yeah, I could eat one more, I'll go get a 4th. But if you said you can buy 2 or 4, I'm always buying 4. Like, because I know 2's not enough. 4 might be too much, but I'm getting it anyway.
All right, so
Anyway.
hot and cold. Hot is Jim Harbaugh because he's not wearing flip-flops to the first day of training camp. He is wearing his full Jim Harbaugh outfit, which is polo shirt tucked in with a belt and his little khaki pants, and then he's wearing cleats. He is wearing cleats to coach opening day of Chargers training camp. So full Harbaugh experience is coming to Southern California. How do you feel about Coach Harbaugh going into the training camp?
Okay, Al, you go. I have you go first because I feel like I'm piling on at this point. So you go. I need a break.
How do I feel? I feel fear that the Chargers are going to be good. That's what I feel. Listen, he's the right coach for that team. He's the right coach for any team, but especially that franchise. Are there going to be things that happen like this where he's wearing cleats to practice and you're saying, why the hell are you wearing cleats to practice? Yes, that's going to happen. Is he going to say some stuff that you sit back and like, I have no idea what the hell is this guy talking about? But the bottom line, if you're a Charger fan in Southern California, you got the right coach. And there's going to be weird things that come with it.
He's very peculiar. At the risk of beating a dead horse deader, what comes? Take weirdness off the table. What comes to mind when you think of Jim Harbaugh?
Winning.
Okay. What else? You're right about that. Passion, like this relentless enthusiasm for football, for competition.
Should talk to Deshaun Foster before they.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody. He's a crazy guy, but in the best possible way. He's wearing cleats at practice because he's going to be running around like a crazy guy. Energy, passion, leadership.
Yep.
Preparation. That's why that thing that we listened to a while ago from Deshaun was just so like, oh my gosh, that you don't have to be a rah-rah guy like Pete Carroll who's constantly doing it. You got to have something to offer. And I know I'm going back to it again, but my, oh my, every time I see a coach that has like a little pizzazz, it's going to be like, yeah, boy. I mean, what is that? Anyway.
So for cold, I was going to do Paul Skeens, but you know what? I'm going to play it again. So this is Deshaun Foster and his opening statements at Big Ten Media Day.
How you guys doing?
Great.
I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Glad to be a part of this great conference.
Welcome.
Did they take this off the internet?
Finally putting two great emblems together, UCLA and the Big Ten.
Not what I would have said, but okay.
We're a school that's won, 123 championships, so this fits us being right in this conference. Football-wise, we're just excited. You know,
That's what you're
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in L.A.
This is where it gets weird.
It's us and USC.
Yep.
That is the other school.
That's a good point, actually.
There's a couple other schools in LA, but okay.
It's a long stretch there of silence.
That uncomfortable little chuckle, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm just basically excited, really. That's it.
Sure.
Any questions?
Many.
In a second.
Like,
you know what?
The media was stunned silent for half a second.
You know how he said, any questions? I'm like, no, I think you covered it all. Let's move on. Next head coach.
I would want to be the very first questioner. Just be like, what was that?
Okay, let's play this out for a second.
Yeah.
You're in the crowd. You're there to cover Big Ten Media Day. And you hear that. What is your first question? I honestly don't know what I would even... Like, at that point, I would be so flabbergasted by what I just
Can I
seen.
be honest? I think in that moment, I would be throwing a softball, almost trying to help the guy. I'm throwing a life jacket out there, and it's as simple as, what do you think of all the... There's so many good schools in the conference. How competitive is it going to be? I would literally throw a football, softball question.
What was your first thought when you got the job offer to be the head coach of UCLA?
Yep.
And he can go through that story, and then he probably...
I don't even know if I want to ask him that, because then I feel like I'm going to ask him a football question that he can maybe just... It's like literally
what
that's
if you
perfectly down his
ask
line.
like one of those open-ended ones? Can you tell me more about your football philosophy, your program? Would that have been too much?
We're excited.
That to me is that might be a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah,
I want to underhand
southball.
Man.
It was something for sure.
Additionally, what else is cool
is
Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens had his first loss of his MLB career last night.
Damn.
He pitched. He pitched into the
8.1
innings.
and a third. Yep.
Yeah, and he only allowed 2 runs of that time period, and they still ended up losing, which stinks. But now is Paul Skeens' shine off?
No. Paul Skeens is the story of Major League Baseball so far. And because the Pirates are hanging around a wild card spot, they're not good, but they don't stink.
Yeah.
They're just kind of in it just enough to where we get to keep talking about him once a week. Like we talked about Ohtani for the past several years.
Those would go away
until
by this
now.
point.
It's like,
Yep.
yeah, okay, you guys are 14 games out. You're not going anywhere. There's no point in talking about it. When you hit one over the Dodger Stadium roof, maybe we'll talk about it. But Skeens is in the mix. Skeens is going to win the Gavin Stone, by the way, we haven't even talked about this. Gavin Stone would have a not only a compelling case, but a strong case to win Rookie of the Year in just about any season that we've seen in a long time in the National League with what he's doing. He doesn't have a prayer. Like Skeens is a 0% chance he does not win Rookie of the Year. He wouldn't even need to throw another pitch. He's going to be the Rookie of the Year. He might win the Cy Young like we've talked about. He is the story of baseball through the first 3+ months of the year.
Okay, Tice, it's kind of funny. The fact that, hey, did he lose some shine because he finally got a loss? I think it actually elevated him. I'll tell you why. He went 8 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
They lost 2-1
Yeah.
against the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think it also highlights, hey, just a reminder, this dude has not lost a game. This is his first game. And the game that he loses, he only gave up 2. If you ask any starting, but we're talking about Glasnow pitching later tonight.
Yeah.
If Glasnow goes 5 innings and gives up 2 runs, are you taking it? I think
course.
you're taking 2 runs for any pitcher. I think it highlighted. One other thing on Pittsburgh. They're 1 game out of a wild card.
Yeah.
It's not like they're 4.5 back, 6.5 back. They're 1 game out of a wild card, so they're clearly in the mix.
And I think you're the right person to ask this question, too, because, Al, you're a baseball fan. I'm a baseball fan. Jorge's a baseball fan. You're a baseball fan, Em. But I think you have more friends that aren't than the rest of us do, right?
I think she just has more friends.
Well, that's probably true as well. Because we're all baseball fans, we're enamored with Skeens. Would your non-baseball friends have any idea who he is or why we're excited about him? Has he cut through in any meaningful way outside of just our little universe?
I think if I asked them who Livy Dunn's boyfriend was, I think they could maybe get to him. I don't know if he's necessarily popping through as Paul Skeens himself, the great pitcher.
Yeah.
But I think that if I showed him a picture, maybe, but still, almost no baseball players get through. So, like Shohei Ohtani barely gets through.
You're right about that. Yeah. Ohtani and Judge are the only 2 guys that I think maybe even have a chance at that.
Yeah.
But Skeens is probably at least on the short list with Harper, maybe 1 or 2 other guys.
Yeah,
but that he's done it in such a short period of time on a team that's it's not the Red Sox, Yankees, or Dodgers.
It's not a popular franchise. Yeah.
Right.
It's one of the least talked about franchises.
It's been bad forever.
My mom doesn't know who he was because she thought it was Paul Sleeves.
That's so good. You get your jersey yet?
I've not. Okay, so today I'm wearing an All-Star 2024 Shohei Ohtani shirt that I got on the internet. It's a cool shirt. And I wanted to get the Paul Skeens one, and they didn't have it available. And I was like, what the heck? I wanted the Paul Skeens one.
Like sold out or just not available?
It just wasn't on the website that I looked it at. So I want a Paul Skeens 2024 All-Star shirt, if anyone has it.
This was 2 nights ago. Was
Profar on
kind of talking, probably starter, right?
They did. They had almost every
Probably a lot
other
of them.
starter but Paul Skeens.
Miguel Rojas was wearing the giveaway hat in the dugout the other night. You guys, I thought that I've never seen that before.
Nice hat.
He had on the Ohtani hat that they were giving, like first 25,000 fans, whatever the number is, through the gates, get a free Ohtani hat. It's a little swinging Ohtani, a little Dodger logo on the side. Rojas was in the dugout wearing the promo hat. I thought that was awesome.
It is.
Oh, cool. I've never seen that before. Like
so basically, $24,999 got Rojas took the other one.
Put the beach towel over his shoulders when they have beach towel night. It was it was bizarre.
And then they're walking out for the winning formation or whatever, like the high fives, and he's wearing Ohtani's nice hat.
Yeah.
Speaking English. And also, here is the odds as of July 22nd from DraftKings Sportsbook in regards to NL Rookie of the Year. So it's Paul Skeens at minus 1,000.
That's it?
Yeah, as of for this. But then it's Jackson Merrill at plus 500, and then Shota Imanaga at plus 2,000. So again, I don't think it's going to be anybody but Paul Skeens, but crazy.
Merrill's had a great season.
Yeah.
Imanaga's had a great season. Stone's had a great season. And you could put all 3 of their votes together, and they're not going to come within 100 miles of Paul Skeens. It's not going to happen.
Next.
Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by NextGen, the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXGEN. That's 833-3-NEXTGen, or visit nextgenaaronplumbing.com. The Dump is coming up next. A little super crosstalk. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Right? Usually in the upper left, sometime in the lower left, that little sticker that lets you know whether or not your car is ready for service, because before you get on the road for your little summer road trip, right, going in your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Because for over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you and me, right? We all got to get from here to there. We got to go to work. We got to run families, all of these things. You got 15 minutes to make sure that your car is running well and safely, right? So at Valvoline, you don't even have to get out of the car. You don't have to go sit in that uncomfortable chair in that weird waiting room. You stay in your car safe and relaxed at Valvoline while the expert technicians make sure that your ride is at its absolute best. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. You just pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. And there's one near you wherever you are. Over 80 locations ready to help you get your ride ready for the road in no time at all. So visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and for game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Really excited to see the new schools come into play at the Coliseum. Obviously, you're going to have Notre Dame to finish the season. That's always a special game. But seeing Nebraska showing up, Penn State showing up, LSU at the Collie, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I think both programs, the men's football program and the men's basketball program, are moving in the right direction. And the women's basketball program at USC is going to be ranked top 5 next year. So it's a great time for the USC Trojans to be back on ESPN LA.
I'm really curious to see, what does USC football look like without Caleb Williams? What are the adjustments that Lincoln Riley makes? And what is the defense going to look like in the non-Alex Gray?
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means
fantastic. 17 locations across the Southland. They got you covered in LA County, Orange County, and the IE. Children's Dental Fun Zone offers movies at every station. They got a TV at every station while your kids getting their work done, and they can watch movies or whatever. They got iPads for the kids. They got toys for the kids in the waiting room. To book your child's next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com, or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester CVT for just $299 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. SH $4097.39. MSRP $31,793. $28.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code SFB-01.
Summer's just getting started, so fill your cooler with the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. And with a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is perfect for the beach, the lake, or wherever you're hanging out and day drinking with your friends. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
Before we get into the dump, which I know is what we haven't gotten to today, but something we did talk about earlier in the day was the show Presumed Innocent. And because I feel like Apple doesn't put any money towards their marketing at all, I'm going to do it for them. Go see Presumed Innocent. Go watch Presumed
Writing it
Innocent.
down, Em.
How many episodes are there?
It's 8 episodes, about an hour long, so you can knock it out over 2 weekends. You can knock it out over a week. I was
6 months in my case.
Exactly. I was just doing it episode by episode because each episode goes to a cliffhanger. Let it sit with you, see what happens. But it is super bingeable. Jake Gyllenhaal is fantastic in it. The story is amazing. And even if you've seen the movie, even if you've seen the book or read the book, I suggest you watch the whole show.
I loved the book. I think I liked the movie. I don't remember disliking the movie.
It's got a lot of Zastro in it. Lots of Zastro.
Yeah, there's
all over the
ton of Zastro
show.
in the book too. That's for sure. It's funny. I was watching. I consumed an absurd amount of media yesterday. Now that I think about it, I saw 2 movies and I watched another thing on Netflix last night when I got home.
You got home.
The Letterman. I think my next guest needs no introduction.
Yeah.
With John Mulaney. I know you're a John Mulaney
love
fan.
John.
Did you see that?
I have not seen it.
Have you seen it, Al?
I have not. No.
Do you like John Mulaney as a comedian?
Yeah.
Me too. Like, I think John Mulaney's really, really funny. I like his comedy a lot. And when you see him on a talk show or whatever, I think he's pretty good. Whoa.
Was it about his backstory?
Not just that. Like, it touches on that for sure. They're dealing with addiction and things like that, which is, not uncommon.
What's his addiction?
Alcohol and drugs.
And it's pretty bad. He went to a rehab multiple times.
Yeah.
And he went to a rehab, in 2020, he was a guest on Seth Meyers often because they wanted to have him have a place to go.
Wow.
And his comedian friends came around and did an intervention for him. So it was like
Yeah.
Fred Armisen,
Wow.
Conan O'Brien, Seth Meyers. Yeah, there's lots of
Wildly talented, very, very funny, struggling with addiction as a
Went
lot of
through a
people
messy
do.
divorce.
All of these things. Not super likable guy.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the thing. That's what he embraced.
Yeah.
That's what he changed. So before
I came out of it going, ugh.
before the kind of he was exposed for his addiction, people thought a clean cut Catholic guy, funny stuff. And I think since the divorce happened, his having a child with the woman that he got with right after that divorce was settled. He's changed his attitude, he's changed his look, and I think that he's more embracing kind of being
his true self.
Yeah,
that's a good way
and that's
to put
probably
it.
who he's always been. But I also still think he's a very funny
the
comedian.
entire time.
He's incredibly funny. Like he's very funny in this, but I think you described it well. Like I pictured him as this very likable kind of everyman, just grew up,
a little neurotic.
Midwest, little neurotic, very smart, very funny, but there's more to it than that. Happy birthday. Are we wishing happy birthday to Barry Bonds? Do we do that? I mean, as Dodger fans, I'm a Dodger fan. Barry Bonds, so we were talking about who Willie Mays passed a week or two ago, right? And we were talking about who's the greatest living player now that Willie Mays has passed. It's Barry Bonds, right? Otherwise, we're being disingenuous if we try to talk about somebody. There are other good. Ricky Henderson, I think, is a really good choice. Shohei is a good choice. Albert Pujols, Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It's Bonds.
He got me excited about watching baseball.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch him go hit home runs in SportsCenter every evening and go watch Giant game.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love when people talk about Barry Bonds before.
Oh, yeah.
Before the
Pittsburgh,
steroid era in Pittsburgh, that this guy was such a baller before, and it's easy people want to forget that, obviously the steroid scandal and everything going on in Major League Baseball, guy was a baller his entire career.
And
so let's not pretend.
he was unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those
Very
people that
unlikable.
never embraced the media, that didn't and it wasn't just, okay, fine, you don't have to get along with us, you don't have to get along with the media, that's fine. I understand why there's a little bit of a adversarial relationship there. His teammates didn't like him. And I've always thought that's the ultimate litmus test. If your teammates like you and no one else does, that probably means you're a pretty decent guy, because maybe you're competitive, whatever it is, but when everybody's happy to see you leave, that's a different dynamic, and Bonds was not popular amongst his teammates. Karl Malone, 61st birthday today. Did he only play that 1 year with the Lakers? Was it just that 1 year and then he retired after that?
Yeah, he had. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he retired after, but I know, that playoff run, he had knee issues. That's the series they took on the Pistons.
Yeah.
Gary Payton was on that team.
Yeah.
He's going to be remembered as a Laker.
Well, it's weird because when you look at
the, I don't even see him as a
Laker
Jazz.
legend,
all-time leading scorers. It's LeBron, Jabbar,
Kareem, and
Karl Malone, and they all played for the Lakers. Kind of
all rocked the Lakers jersey.
different degrees.
Two-time MVP, but
those are fugazis, by the way. But go ahead.
It did happen.
You're right.
But yeah, it's literally every single year is with Utah, 1 year with the Lakers.
Yeah.
This kind of the thing. It's kind of the thing that we were talking about. How old was he?
He was 40.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Still pretty good too.
This is the thing that we're talking about with the top 25 players in the last 25 years. How many you said were Dodgers?
10.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to end up, and this is something I'm sure the Lakers embrace. They want LeBron as a Los Angeles Laker. Never going to be fully embraced. But it is the, hey, look at all these greats that have rocked the Los Angeles Laker jersey. I know Karl Malone and Gary Payton, people don't think of them as Lakers, but just a small little quick stint. Max Scherzer, you're not going to think of him as a Dodger.
No, he's there for 5
seconds. But he had
seconds.
a stint. Trey Turner, you're going to think of him as a Dodger.
Trey Turner at least had a full season.
Yeah.
How this was LeBron's 7th year in LA, or is that what we're about to start?
I think we're walking into his 7th season.
This will be
Lakers.
his. So he's spent 6 full. It will be 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's nearly twice as long as he was in Miami.
Yeah.
And I, at least in my mind's eye, Cleveland first, obviously.
But Miami there's a highlight there. Like it's that seemed like it was
really
longer.
short period of time. Like 4 years is not and LA is coming into year 7. He will have spent, by the time it's all said and done, at least he'll be a Laker twice as long as he was a member of the Heat. That's weird to think about it like that.
Yeah, 4 times, and maybe it's just there was so much attention towards that Heat team. 4 times make it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade there, Chris Bosh.
My all-time favorite baseball player, not named Fernando Valenzuela, non-Dodger players, is George Brett. I mentioned that to you. Today in 1983 was the day, the Pine Tar home run. He hits a home run in the 9th inning off of Goose Gossage, who was like the ultimate reliever. He puts it in the right field seats at Yankee Stadium, runs around the bases, and all of a sudden Billy Martin comes out, says something to the umpire. Umpires get together, huddle. Next thing you know, they're lying the bat down across home plate, because I think the home plate is 15 inches. You can only have the Pine Tar go up to 14 inches or whatever it is, and it was way past an extra inch. It was halfway up the barrel, basically. They call him out, and it's really the only time in my life where I thought a baseball player might beat an umpire up. They go nose to nose. They point fingers at each other. Spittle flies from guys' mouth. But it's real. I'm like, I think he might kill him.
The way he came out, yeah, you're right.
And I thought George Brett might kill Tim McClellan in that moment.
So that was today in 1983?
1983, yeah. So nearly 41 years ago that happened. It is one of my all-time favorite clips of one of my all-time favorite players.
You know, we've talked about before having cool memorabilia, but random memorabilia.
Yeah.
That bat should be at your house.
I think it's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Have you been in the Hall of Fame, Mace?
I have. I've been there 3 times.
Well, geez, you don't have to brag about
Absolutely love the Hall of Fame.
Is it awesome?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
3
amazing.
times? I mean,
Yeah, 3
why
times.
Why do you dig it in like
I
that?
went when I was a little kid.
How far is it from Ohio? Not super
pretty
far, right?
Cooperstown
Is it? Okay.
is pretty far.
Okay.
When there was a little kid with my dad, then I went there when I was with the Toledo Mud Hens because we played in Syracuse.
Okay.
And Syracuse was very close to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then I went there once with my brother, too. It's an amazing, amazing experience.
Did you see the George Brett bat?
I don't recall the specific George Brett bat.
Do you remember when that happened?
I do.
Did you think he was going to kill the umpire?
Yes, he did look angry. He did look a little pissed
eyes
off.
are bulging out of his head. Ireland, you ever been in the Hall of Fame?
Baseball, no.
No?
No.
I need to go.
It's amazing.
I need to go.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever been. The only Hall of Fame I think I've actually been to in person is the Hockey Hall of Fame.
You've not been to the Football Hall of Fame or the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Ohio,
Rock and roll.
I've never been to Springfield, Massachusetts, and I've never been to Cooperstown.
Is the hockey one in Toronto, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. But, I mean, I'd love to go. If I could only go to one, I'd go to the baseball one.
Jorge, have you been to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
I have not.
All right, then let's just do Super Crosstalk.
All right.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM
99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
So,
John.
Trav, you were talking about how it's Karl Malone's birthday.
Yeah.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone. 7 of the top 10 all-time leading scorers in the NBA at one point or another played for the Lakers. Without looking it up, can you name the other 3?
Kobe.
Kobe played for the Lakers.
I'm
talking about who are the 3 that never played.
Oh, that
for the
never
Lakers.
played. Malone obviously
okay.
did.
Jordan.
Jordan is 1.
Yeah. Leading scorers of all time that didn't play for the Lakers.
10 all-time leading
I
scorers.
was going to say Carmelo, but he snuck in.
Yeah,
at the end.
Carmelo did sneak in.
Carmelo is correct. Carmelo is number 10.
Well, wait a minute.
Well, Carmelo
played for the Lakers.
Correct. Oh, wait a minute. So, there's
So 2 of
still
them.
3.
Okay.
There's still 3.
He's one of the 7, yeah.
You think Duncan's on? Oh, no, I got
Duncan's-
one.
Dirk's
gotta be on
Duncan.
that list.
Number 6.
Duncan?
Dirk's number 2. Duncan is your first strike.
Okay.
Trav said that.
That was Trav.
Not Wade. Is it?
It's got to be.
You think
Was it-
Ewing?
what
a
about
Hakeem,
what about Clyde Drexler?
Incorrect. 2 strikes.
That was Mace.
That was me.
All right,
Slee,
Al,
you
you're
got
working
to
at it now.
guess,
You
Mister.
gotta
I
pick
know
now.
everything.
Let's
You
go.
want a hint or no?
No, I'm gonna just go with the man who won 2 championships that Travis always says doesn't deserve 2 championships. Hakeem.
Not true.
No. Hakeem Olajuwon is not there. The one you guys missed is number 8, and he's still active. Does that help?
Still active.
Let me think about
A
this.
non-Laker who is still active, so he's been around for a long time.
KD.
Correct.
there
Kevin
you
Durant.
go. KD.
Who's left?
No, you got them all.
We got them all.
It's LeBron, Kareem, Malone, Kobe are the top 4.
Right.
Jordan's 5, Dirk is 6, Wilt 7, Durant 8, Shaq 9,
Jeez.
Carmelo 10.
Wow.
7.
That's crazy.
7 rocked the Laker jersey.
Yeah. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I wonder if they were all coached by Deshaun Foster.
Right. I was just gonna.
do it.
Yeah, no, we were all going to the Deshaun Foster joke at exactly the same time, and I believe it is the first of many jokes that will be told about
Why?
Deshaun Foster.
Why? I mean, did you see something that did not fill you with confidence?
John, how many Bruins do you know that just bought season tickets at the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Can I
Let's
say
go,
something?
everybody.
Defend him. Find a way to defend him.
Let me toot the horn of a couple of people.
Okay.
For years, the sports information director at UCLA for 30-plus years was a guy named Mark Dellon.
Right. Sure.
Mark hired a guy named Bill Bennett, who just retired. He retired last year. He'd been there for almost 40 years. Had Mark Dellons or Bill Bennett been working today,
They would have written him a
no way
speech?
that happens. They would have prepared him.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you send him in there?
But why does
unprepared?
Deshaun
hold on.
not prepare
Hold on.
himself?
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Why does he not say? The media days are the same. Coaches walk up, they say a few words, then they take
Totally
questions. Here, he just had no words.
It's like, well, okay, but here's the thing. I agree with what you guys are saying. I agree that an SID, an AD, an assistant AD, somebody should have said, hey, coach, here are some remarks in case you're looking for something.
Right.
Okay, cool. But isn't the head coach of a major college football program, college basketball program,
I love this comp.
Like, you have to be the CEO.
Yep.
And more importantly, the CMO. You need to be the chief marketing guy for your program. And it doesn't have to be in the Pete Carroll mode, which is super positive, high energy. But what every really good coach has is preparation.
Right.
And the attention to detail in getting this thing. And I'm not saying you got to lay out your entire game plan.
Right.
But, hey,
Send a message.
Have a few words.
Talk for 2 minutes.
to talk 2 minutes extemporaneously about your program should not be challenging. And it just that he was that unprepared for it or incapable. It's one or the other.
Yep.
Or both.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's A.
Yeah. That's incredibly disheartening.
I cannot imagine after watching that he is going to be a successful college football coach.
Neither can I.
That's it. Based on 1 2-minute failed interview.
Your job is to prepare.
Okay, so
he did not
Mason
prepare
won't
at all.
Remember this because Mason doesn't remember what he had for lunch yesterday. But
chicken sandwich.
One of the top 3 worst interviews in the history of Mason and Ireland.
Right.
Okay, so the first year we did the show was 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Was with Bill Belichick.
It was awful.
Awful.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the coach of the Browns at the time. And he came on with us, and all one-word answers. You know what he ended up doing his whole career?
Mm-hmm.
No charisma.
Right.
No, I mean, you after listening to that interview, you would say, there is no way this guy's going to be a success. And he actually got fired in Cleveland.
Right, sure.
And then he turned out to be the greatest coach in
So
NFL
you're
history.
suggesting that Deshaun Foster has the football acumen of Bill Belichick.
But
I am suggesting that Bill Belichick and Deshaun Foster went to the same interview.
Okay. Here's the one problem. The one problem I have is because Trav said the exact same thing. He's like, he's not going to be a good football coach.
in
my head, I'm like, Trav,
tremendous doubt.
He talked for a minute and a half, and I know in that minute and a half he didn't talk for about 60
He didn't say
seconds.
anything.
67. But I don't think you can determine. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Let's take a coach out there that was very prepared for his speech and absolutely killed it, and even kind of got the raw group in there. Does that mean that coach is going to be successful on the football field?
But I don't think it's exactly apples to apples. Here's why. The Bill Belichick story that you're telling, Ireland, I think is meaning that Bill Belichick's a bad interview. Okay, I agree with you. Bill Belichick, whether at the time or what he eventually turned into.
He's a terrible public speaker.
He's a terrible public speaker. He's a terrible interview. And I think certainly later in his career it was by design. He just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, then he could just be a jerk. Yeah.
But this wasn't just I'm bad at public speaking. This was I'm not ready to I'm unprepared. And that's the one thing, whether the style, like the personality between a coach like Pete Carroll and Sean McVay is over here.
Mm-hmm.
Big energy, big enthusiasm. And you can be kind of grumpy, short-answered, and there's Mike Tomlin and there's Bill Belichick on the other end of the spectrum, right, that are just far more buttoned up. But all of them are prepared.
Yes.
You've never seen them go into a situation where they didn't know what the heck was happening, and that's what that felt like.
I mean, a note card. What about writing something down on a note card?
Yeah.
No, that was you can't get any. I don't. There's no explanation for what we.
Yeah, there really isn't.
John,
really
do you
isn't.
think that there's a world where he is just terrific with the players and the X's and O's, and they go out and UCLA is like, I get that they're not going to win the Big Ten their first year, but hey, that's a little bit better than we thought, or is it going to be we thought, if not worse?
But it's going to be bad no matter what this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think UCLA is going to win 3 games this year. But let me throw something out. Let me go bigger picture here on you guys. So one of the big issues that gets talked about all the time in coaching circles is that football is a predominantly African-American sport, and there are no African-American coaches to speak of. I think in the NFL now we have maybe 5 out of 30. Maybe not even 5. I'd have to go look it up. College football, same percentage, super low.
Yeah, super low.
So in order for these African-American coaches to get a job, somebody's got to take a chance on them because – like, Deshaun Foster's never been a head coach.
Right.
Ever. So UCLA's taking a chance on him.
They've done that before. They did that with Carl Durrell a few years back.
Was terrible at speaking. He was. I was doing sidelines for that team. He couldn't talk to save his life. But one time Carl Durrell said, we asked him. They had this guy, I think his name was Malcolm White. He was a good running back. And we said, what happened to Malcolm White? Why didn't he play more? Carl goes, to be honest, I just forgot about him.
Whoa.
Whoops. Yeah, you need to have a better answer than that. But the point I'm trying to make about it and why I brought up sports information directors is if you have a head coach who has never been a head coach and your job is to provide sports information and put the best face on whatever your program is doing, don't you go out of your way to make sure he's prepared for that? Trav, I'm not ducking that he is responsible at the end of the day. He is. But I don't know how you let him walk out there and not have anything to say.
I said it when I first heard it, when Emily first played it for us an hour and a half or so ago. I said, this is a failure on every single level. It's a failure on his level, on the athletic director's level, on the SID's level.
That's a really good way of putting it.
It's every single person that was involved in this should be really alarmed at what happened today. And they need to get him in front of somebody immediately.
Well, you saw the tweet, right?
No, I haven't seen the tweet.
Okay.
But if he's not in front of Plaschke or on the air with you guys or us or somebody saying, "Did you guys see what I did?" And you have to own it. You have to lean into it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I lost my mind. I went into a fugue state.
His tweet?
This is his tweet. Bergman sent it to me. It's the first tweet that he sent after this incident. All it says is, "I never."
No.
That's all it says. I never.
2 words.
Oh, yeah, 2 words. I never. And then there's nothing else there.
Not an ellipses at the end
nothing,
or anything?
nothing. I never. No,
Why wouldn't
no
you go back and
punctuation.
cancel that? I mean, they need to get a handle on this. Trav, you're right. Maybe they don't put him on the air with anybody today because he can't do it. Maybe he's not ready.
Yeah.
But I'll media train him for free. I mean, somebody over there.
Well, it
needs to
sounds
get
like from 1 to 4 today, there's going to be some media training.
Yeah.
I never.
Because I know Deshaun. I covered him as a player. He's a great guy. But what he did today was just embarrassing.
Well, he never.
Yeah, amen. I never.
Well, you know what UCLA is doing? People are talking about UCLA more than USC today.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank with Deshaun Foster. I never. And then it's blank.
Want to speak in front of a group again?
Okay, there you go.
I never prepared for my speech.
There you go. I think that's another good one.
Yeah, I never will get another chance to do this.
I can never get another chance to make a first impression.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Poor guy. I actually feel I do feel
I do too.
empathy for the guy.
Listening to it, it had one of those. These are the worst feelings, but where you're on the other side saying. Deshaun, please.
Yeah,
say
pull out of this. Pull out of this.
Something.
But I do appreciate that he mentioned USC.
Right.
Well, didn't he mention him in this context? Didn't he say, we're out in L.A., USC's out there with us? And then he kind of...
And then he said he was excited, and then he chuckled, and then he left.
LAX is in El Segundo.
Yep.
Thank you, Deshaun.
And you have a little update for us?
Right. So he was on Fox Sports Radio with the Gottlieb just recently. And
I'm sorry, real quick. Before or after his speech?
After his speech.
Okay.
After his speech,
This is what Gottlieb asked him. He says, everyone's talking about your opening introduction where it felt like you had a bunch that you wanted to say. What happened with the opening conversation? He says, we wanted to give them more chances to ask me questions than me talking to them.
Then walk up there and say, hey, UCLA is in the Big Ten. Let's take some questions.
How about, hey, I screwed up. You know what? I'll be more prepared next time around.
If that's what they wanted, it's guys, I'm not much to talk. I'm getting ready for this football season. What do you want to know?
Bingo. You don't have to give a big address.
You don't have to give any address.
Yeah, you just say a few words and then say, I'll take some questions.
I think we can all rest comfortably knowing that UCLA is in Los Angeles and they play football.
Don't forget, he never. He never.
Never will get to do it again. Super Crosstalk is brought to you by In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger's all about.
2 leagues.
Starting Monday, September 9th, there's a new fall lineup on 710 ESPN, and it means the 9-hour